thing to talk about because I haven't seen the fucking movie.
Okay. Yeah.
But I have been doing this weird thing. Because yesterday, well, the last 2 days I went to the movie theaters.
Oh, okay.
Been to the movies dressed up, and I
okay.
zoot suit.
Sure. You're really showing all the cats out there. You can bring it.
Yeah. To go to movies. I'm the guy that dresses up for a plane ride too, because it's still an event.
It's you put on your nicest tie, and you say to that stewardess, "Did you bring me something nice, lady?" You know.
And then you don't see her for the rest of the flight.
No, she's
like
not
a million other
speak.
people.
she.
You have no time for that.
I don't have. I'm actually like helping the crew. Like you understand. Like I have to go.
But okay, so anyway, I saw the first one I finally saw Last Jedi.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We definitely have to talk about that then.
Okay, well if we do that, I would have to spoiler it off. So let me time. Well, when we get to that, we get to that.
Okay.
And then I'll timestamp it or whatever. And I watched Coco yesterday.
Yeah, how's that?
Coco's great.
It's a good movie.
I'm honestly, and maybe I'm too close to the movie to say this, but like I'm honestly thinking about whether or not it's my favorite Pixar.
Yeah.
Like we've talked about like the rules of storytelling in Pixar.
Yes.
And this has led to me and Nick both having the same thing where we went, we saw the twist like coming, like you can see it a mile away.
A lot of those movies are so, and it's not. And again, we've said, not that they're bad. It's just that that structure exists.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
How did you feel about the twist in Coco?
Again, I saw it coming, but there was one that I thought was really nice, and that has to do with the great-great-grandmother.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the song they picked for her to sing was fucking perfect.
Yeah.
Like, and I think that's the only folk song they do.
Yeah, that's the only one that's coming to mind.
Because the rest were done by, like, actual artists, but... Because I stayed and watched the music credits, and it was the only one that I saw that was, like, a folk.
The only other one that I could think of is... Maybe it doesn't count as a folk song, but it's certainly a song that's so old, I'm like, oh, everyone's done that, was the song that they sing to Chicharron in the horrible Forgotten Ghettos. Where he changes the lyrics slightly.
Yeah.
You know the song I mean?
No, I've heard that song before.
I've heard that song so many times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that was a beautiful rendition.
It's a great
dude. It's one of the weird things because I think it's the first Pixar movie where I go, I actually do want to watch or listen to the soundtrack.
Yeah.
Because there's really good covers of it. There's some where it's just a voice and like
absolutely,
and it's a very beautifully done voice. Visually, I think it's the most impressive Pixar. Yeah, I don't think anything comes close to it.
No.
And fuck, dude, just like the world is so alive. This is by far their best animation.
Oh yeah.
There's a moment, and it sounds weird that I'm nitpicking this, but because I have like grandmas and abuelitas who have this, there's a moment where the abuelita moves her arms, and she has like that arm flap.
Yeah, she totally.
But it moves exactly, and I'm like, this is weird because
that's real.
Yeah, because that's what's so real to me. Because I have grandmas, I'm not like making fun of it. It just that's just something that happens to you when you're old. That's gonna happen to me at some point.
I mean, like I definitely feel like one aspect of when I came out of it the first time I saw it, I was worried that...
Yeah, I want to see it again, by the way. Like,
yeah.
This is really good.
I was worried that my gut reaction was like that I was too... Because it's an emotional powerhouse, and it's not manipulative at all. It earns
the final one, the one that actually made me tear up, is a completely earned moment.
Yeah. But I came out of it and I was worried, like, I mean, this is one of the first movies that represents this kind of material and these kind of characters.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just, like, so ginned up on this.
Mm-hmm.
I have to look at it again. And I did, and it's like, nope, it's just great. It's just good. It's just a good movie.
It's like, and it's the thing where, the way the dialogue is, and this constant back and forth between Spanish
and English,
specifically, like Mexican Spanish.
Yeah.
Because there are different dialects. Was, I think, it never felt forced to me.
No.
No. As the quote unquote Spanglish term goes,
Mm-hmm.
it felt like the right amount between both.
Yeah.
It felt very natural. Like, it felt like I was... Like, I've been to this family outing before.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I've talked to these people. I know someone who ranges between that.
And not to point fingers, but I think both of us have at some point read a piece of fiction by, like, some white guy who's, like, trying to do this.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's definitely not how that would work.
That's
not how that would work at all.
This is someone who thinks, like, the quote-unquote chola lingo is how we all speak.
Or that Spanish is just like we'll suddenly just break a whole sentence in Spanish and be like, oh, sorry, I totally forgot how English works for a second. That's okay. That's
the only time I can excuse that happening is when people are very emotional.
Yeah,
because that is an actual natural thing that happens
to go to your mother tongue.
Yeah, to anyone who speaks a different language.
Totally. One thing I really liked was it's co-directed.
Yes,
so
it is.
One of the directors, the Irish guy, he was very set on having Abuelita use a spoon to hit people, the wooden spoon, which everyone was just like, no, it has to be la chancla.
Yeah.
Like, you can't do a spoon. A spoon doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense for the story. It'll take us all out of it. And
That's so funny.
It's very funny, but then I watched it and I was like, oh no, that's real. That's real.
It is real.
That's real.
It's real.
The other thing that impressed me with the art style is they had to make people that had meat and not.
Yeah.
That's really hard, I think, for most cartoon styles, at least, because most cartoons aren't built to have, like, a realistic skeletal structure of any kind.
Yeah.
So, like if you peel
and that's not a bad thing. That's... No. If you're going for a style, you're allowed... You got to sometimes just, like, fudge whatever proportions are.
Totally. But, like... You know, the difference between, like if you were going to do Matt Groening, actually peel the bones off them, their skeletons are going to look real weird.
Yeah. Mars would have the rabbit ears.
Yeah.
In her blue hair.
So. But to have all these characters, to my mind, you would have to do double character design, more or less.
Yeah.
Wherein you have to figure out, well, here's them alive, and here's them as bones, and how do we animate them, how do they move in both situations. That's the thing I've been thinking about, how actually that's really technically impressive.
Yeah.
Also.
And like everyone looks like someone I would know.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's... God, what am I trying to say here? Because I agree with you. It is a realistic style while also taking some liberties with how people are. Like, to exaggerate proportions.
Totally.
To point out, like, oh no, I do know someone who is kind of, like, hunched over.
Yeah.
That it's like that in my family or something like that.
Or, like, Coco, can we spoil it? Or are you talking about the end of the movie?
Fuck it, let me timestamp it.
Alright.
I'm talking about the fucking end of the movie. What are we at here? 9:20. Okay. So for everyone, come back in like 5 minutes.
Okay.
So around the 13-minute mark. Okay. So that's where I'll hard cut us.
All right.
Okay.
So like Grandma Coco, when she's bones at the end and coming back for Dia de los Muertos next year, like her whole like face is kind of flat on the top, which isn't how a real skeleton would work.
Yeah, of course.
But it communicates that character.
Yeah.
Better.
Yeah.
So, like, that I think that's a good example of what you were saying. It's artistic license with how that would actually work to communicate something better.
Yes, and you got to do that. You had like in order to convey messages in art, like or at least quote unquote messages, whatever you're trying to get across.
Totally.
Yeah, the ending's great. It made me tear up. Holy shit.
And when I was in the audience the first time, and like you went from the boy singing "Remember Me" to his great grandma, and then to see that picture going on your friend, and then just that was like the whole audience holding their breath, and then the picture goes up, and it's like, no. But
it's also one of those things when it happens. It's like it's inevitable. Like that was inevitable.
That was kind of what the movie was building toward.
Yeah. It's called Coco.
Yeah,
and it's about it.
And this movie keeps putting in your face like, you're all going to die. This is how it works.
Yeah, but but see that like, and it's not just like you're going to die. Right. It's a message of Dia de los Muertos. It's this. There's something after. It's this joyous celebration. It's a moving, celebrating someone's life, not mourning their death. Versus like
totally
as doing that. And I think it totally gets that message across.
Absolutely. Can I say so? When Coco came out, people were very some people on the internet were very angry because they were like, "Oh, Pixar is kind of stepping all over." The guy who did the show Manny Rivera for Nickelodeon.
El Tigre.
El Tigre, who made a movie also about Day of the Dead.
Sure. Well, there's also the Book of Life.
That was his movie.
That was his movie. Okay, I still haven't seen it, but I want to.
So, they're very different, even though they have similar bits in them. I don't think anything else I'm going to say is spoilery. No worries, no worries. But
well, either way, you have till the 13-minute mark, so you got to leave in it.
They were related the whole time.
What, this kid and his grandma?
Who knows who I meant? But when I actually watched it, I think the themes of both movies are super, super different. Mm-hmm. Like for The Book of Life, that movie was like, well, look back to your family and figure out how you can build your own life forward. Mm-hmm. Which is a cool message, you know. But Coco is a movie about, like, it's proposing that life and death is a mutual exchange both ways.
Yeah, which I think is closer to what the whole idea behind Dia de los Muertos is.
Totally.
At least the celebration. I still gotta watch Book of Life.
It's a good movie. It's a really good movie.
No, everyone tells me
it's a very good movie.
It's like, Del Toro has his hand in that, right? Like
I think he was a producer on it.
Okay. Yeah. I knew he had a hand in it. That's how I found out about him. What the fuck is that? Oh, I think it's something up with the speaker.
Oh, it's not like a rave of little tiny people.
Just hammering the back. Can you do me a favor? Turn that knob all the way down.
All the way back this way?
Yeah, to the left. Right. We don't need it for now.
Okay. There you go.
Okay.
All the way down.
Something's been going. I think there's a problem with the wire because we've already switched out speakers. But but yeah. Okay, so I gotta watch that. No, Coco's great.
Coco's great. I loved it a lot. It's goddamn. Did you So you've seen it? You saw it the first time in English. Do you think you might watch it in Spanish?
I might watch it in Spanish.
Is
it really good? It's the thing with that though is I know that would make more sense, but like I mentioned before, the transitioning between Spanish and English and not even subtitling the Spanish.
Yeah.
For me, like hit a lot closer to home.
Totally. Absolutely.
But that is my own personal experience.
That's our experience of that.
Yeah. So
I'd say the main reason I actually went back to watch.
Holy shit!
Oh shit!
I have no idea now.
You want me to turn it up again? Right? It's all the way down. Yeah.
Press the power button.
Okay.
Is what I meant. It's at the top left corner of the receiver.
Oh, the top left.
And I'm like face fucking the mic, so that might have been like.
Okay, there you go.
Okay.
All right, let's see. Let's see how that goes.
Let's hope. Okay. Apologies.
No. Shit. Oh, I really watched it in Spanish just because I wanted to hear the songs all the way in Spanish.
That's true.
But
they are. Well, there is once where they do a little bit of English.
Yeah, I mean, would I? Again, I don't mean this as a judgment at all. I think they're both fantastic, but there's the part wherein he sings the song for a crowd of people.
El Poco Loco.
El Poco Loco.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great song. But then I was listening, and as much as I love that song and it's great in English, I listened to it and I was like, this probably works better in Spanish. There's parts of this that probably, and it does.
Okay.
It works better in Spanish.
I have no idea what's good. That's like the first time that's ever happened.
I didn't even push a button. I just touched it.
Okay. So maybe there's something. Okay,
I think it's vibrating something inside.
I'll have to figure that out.
It's all right. Is that bothering you? If it is, write to us. Let us know.
Let us know
what you think.
What do you think? Follow us on social media. I have to increase my social media presence according to people I talk to.
I mean, follow us both. We're gonna put up links at the bottom of this, and you can follow all of us on all of our.
Click that fucking bell.
And you can follow the links below or subscribe.
I actually, to be completely honest, I do have an idea of how to quote unquote increase my social media presence.
Oh yeah?
I was gonna take a dumb picture every time we do this.
Oh, we should do that.
And I'll tell you what it's of later. But yeah.
So yeah, it's a really good movie.
Yes,
I loved it.
Go watch it.
Please go watch it. It's amazing that it's not amazing, but I'm just super pleased at how well it's doing in the theater.
Yeah, it's doing really well. Like more better than I thought it was going to be, and that's good because it's a good movie. So.
Yeah. And have we already talked about how it broke all the records?
No, I didn't know that because I didn't look up anything. I was trying to just go in raw, like without.
Same.
Yeah.
It turns out that Coco, the week that it came out in Mexico on Day of the Dead.
Oh, that's awesome.
So it came out there, and then by the second week of November, it was the second highest grossing movie ever. By the end of November, it was the number one grossing animated film and second highest grossing film ever.
Wow. And
right now, it is the highest grossing film in all of Mexico and certain countries in Latin America besides Mexico.
Like in history of film or
in all of film.
Holy shit.
It beat the one that held the record before was the first Avengers. Okay. And it has beat it by 1.5 of whatever that racked in for Mexico.
Wow.
So
that's awesome.
I know that money doesn't necessarily make a movie good or bad, but goddamn, good for them. Good for them.
Yeah, but it's an indicator that there's something there.
Yeah, totally.
That's people are latching onto.
Absolutely.
It's like I always remember it because I don't know why, because I think he picked the perfect example. But my professor was like, I had to read Twilight because he teaches genre fiction and sci-fi and like fantasy and all this stuff. He's like, and in order to convince myself to do that, I had to look at the numbers and go, okay, obviously people are latching on to something here, so I have to go in with that mindset that there's something people are looking into.
There's something people want out of this. That they're getting.
He says it wasn't as bad as he thought it was going to be, but he claimed it to be very mediocre. I know, dude. What I might do is just unplug it. Like, okay. Claimed it to be kind of mediocre.
I can just lean on it like this.
Yeah, you can just hold on it. So that's what I think is happening. I don't think it's grounded. Okay. For whatever reason, and that seems bad to me. So.
I don't want you to think I'm not listening. This is I'm engaged. I just keep reaching over and touching this piece of equipment so it stops buzzing.
Yeah, but it's that like people are like, there's something there.
Yeah, totally. So what did you did you come to anything of what is it that people are getting out of
Coco?
Out of Twilight?
Out of Twilight? No, I have no idea. To me, it's the same idea like in romance. This idea of just the escapism into perfection. Sure. Or what's idealized, which I'm not against escapism at all. No. As this podcast is like purely that. Yeah. I don't know. I'm not gonna read it. So
yeah. Good choice.
I have like too much shit that I gotta read. So, yeah. Yeah. And then I don't know. Should we talk about Last Jedi now, Or you know what we'll do? Let's save that for the end, and we'll do like I'll put that as a separate discussion. Maybe like a quick 30-minute. Like, what do you think?
Sounds great. I have a lot to say about it. Okay.
So let's get into what we've been up to. What's going on with you? How's Hanukkah, dude? Like.
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah. It was a really nice Hanukkah. Thank you. I cooked with my family. What'd you make? Well, we made latkes that were decent this year. So, like, we've only really tried cooking for the, like, last 3 Hanukkahs.
Sure.
Because I'm
Cooking's hard.
Cooking's hard.
Yeah.
And basically the only other option you have as a Jew to go get Jewish food is, like, you have to go to, like, delis where there's just old people.
Yeah.
Just like, the fuck are you do? I'm just here to eat my pickled eggs.
Where in all my...
yeah.
Catholic family arrogance. I'm not Catholic personally.
Sure.
But in my Catholic family arrogance, where is like the nearest Jewish deli? Or where's the nearest deli that'll serve that kind of stuff?
Probably the closest one. There's one in Long Beach that's made out of an old train caboose.
Yeah. Because the ones I've only ever seen are in LA just when working.
There is a really nice one in LA that I've been to a few times. It's called Melvin's, I think. Because we're a stereotype
Can't
ourselves.
be the one I saw that one. It looked like really run down, but...
Oh, no. It's nice, but it's like... It has not changed since like the 40s.
Okay.
Because it's probably run by some guy since the 40s.
Yeah.
But like, no, it's really nice there. And it's basically regular diner food. And then they like also advertise like, you like stuff in vinegar? We got a lot of that. We got a lot of that. The last day, I worked the last day of Hanukkah, so I went to the school, and I just brought sufganicha, which is it's just jelly donuts.
As someone who's worked like every single day of my quote unquote break for school, except for Christmas Eve and Christmas and today, but that blows.
Yeah, it's the worst.
Yeah.
But like I did the good American thing, and I tried to constantly just derail work by making my break happen at work. You know?
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna keep going on to integers, kids. But before we do that, who wants jelly-filled fried dough? We also tried to make something called babka, which is like a twisty. It's like a coffee cake kind of bread.
Okay.
And I have never made bread of any kind.
Oh, yeah?
That involves, like, yeast and, like, all this.
Now, do you have, like, a super deep appreciation for it?
I have a super deep appreciation. Jesus.
That's what happened to me the first time.
Fuck.
Bread's hard, dude.
It's horrible. You've got to whip that shit until it becomes, like, a rubber ball.
Yeah.
It's horrible. So, anyway, I spent, like, a good day trying to do that, and... At the end, I let it sit and all this, and then I actually had like my Jewish grandfather come in, and he was like, "Oh, I'll give you a hand, kid." He looks in, and he's like, "This doesn't have any yeast that's active. You killed it. You killed all the yeast. This is fucking garbage now." So I bought babka. It's very good. If you want, I'll get you some too. It's good, man.
Oh, maybe. I might take you up on that.
Yeah, man.
Good, great coffee.
Yeah, you've got a fancy French press now.
No, it's not. It's not French press. It's AeroPress.
AeroPress.
Yeah. That was a very nice gift that my family got me because I've been wanting one for a while. And they also got me these Modern Times coffee beans, which you saw. Yeah,
they smell fantastic.
Yeah, I'm a complete... I'm so picky and snobbish about... I'm such an asshole, when I think about it, but it's like one of the few coffee that I've liked. I've been trying to get more and more into it.
You had... What was it? It's blueberry infused beans?
Well, so it's Black House, right? And, it's not blueberry infused, but it may be for all I fucking know. Mm-hmm. But it does have like this taste of blueberry. Mm-hmm. Yeah, very subtle, not like a sweet blueberry. Mm-hmm. It's just like, it's there. Mm-hmm. Little bit of chocolate and just a really nice roasty taste. It's fucking great. The other one I have is called Heavy Weather, and that's a blend between like all these other ones. It's got like a little bit of that espresso taste, but it's like aged in bourbon barrels, or at least some of the coffee beans are.
Oh, fantastic.
When blended, it's so smooth. It's like it's weird because when it comes out, it tastes pretty acidic, and I think that's just me shittily brewing stuff. But then it's so fucking smooth. It's really good. Well, yeah. So it's like, anything else for Hanukkah? Like, giving those educational gifts.
We
again arrogant.
It was.
I actually don't know how that works because I've always heard that it's like supposed to be education. What you're saying?
They're usually like practical, if anything.
Okay.
And it's not like it's a tradition. It's just that.
So the cartoons I see of people getting like abacuses.
Not
like,
wrong. Not wrong. Is that the Rugrats? Is that
I think Rugrats?
Is that the Rugrats?
It's got. I think it was a Rugrats. It was some. It's a fucking 90s cartoon.
It absolutely is. No judgment. The Rugrats basically covered general public's understanding of Judaism for most people.
And, like, Hey Arnold covered that pretty well.
That's also true. Yeah, that's right. Hey Arnold did do that.
Well, I forgot, like, Rugrats' family was, like...
half Jewish.
Yeah. Was it the mom's side?
Yeah, because her... Jesus Christ, her parents were survivors, I think?
Yeah, they were
survivors. And because I remember they had a Passover thing and they had a Hanukkah one.
Yeah.
Where they do like, and then Judah Maccabee, he comes, because
the
grandfather is Jewish as fuck. It's fantastic.
It's like a caricature.
If he wasn't actually made by Jews, which he is.
Yeah.
Oh my God. But oh my God. No, it was really funny because I feel like online I still see people like put up GIFs of like him explaining the menorah and this and that, and it's like, and it's literally what's very funny is like all the food that is associated with Hanukkah really is just fried. That's it. You just pick shit and put it in oil. Yeah. Oh, why? Because of oil. It's oil. That's it. That's the whole day.
That's all we had.
It's Judaism has two big things, and one of them is grease. The other one... but no, it was very fun. I got a bunch of practical gifts mostly, and then I did get a really nice gift. No, my mom for Hanukkah, the last Hanukkah, you get practical gifts, and then on the 8th night, usually you get kind of a little something.
Get special. The fucking banger.
You get the banger. I got Roku for my TV. So
okay.
It's great. I don't know.
I want one.
We're not sponsored or anything.
Yeah.
Unless you want to be.
I'm totally willing. I'm like, I think I've said this before on this podcast in particular too. I'm totally willing to sell out. Like,
absolutely. So now I can from the comfort of my writing desk, I can just turn around and I can watch Netflix, Hulu, Showtime, Stars. We've got a great package actually, and it's only $25 a month. God, what a deal! It's
cheaper than cable still. It's only.
It's much cheaper than cable, and honestly, like the box is maybe the size of a measuring tape.
Yeah. So
it's that tiny. It's great.
Like in my family household, I don't even watch cable anymore, except unless I'm like at somebody's place.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I go, boy, I hope FX is still doing that Simpsons
every day
thing.
Are they though? Because that's a great.
They do it every day, man. Like 2 or 3 hours, I think. So.
Good Christ, man.
I know.
Oh shit!
What?
Now I remember what we have to talk about. We have to talk about Disney.
Oh yeah, because they bought Fox.
They bought Fox.
So the monopoly grows.
The monopoly grows. Oh my fucking God! So
they bought they bought the entertainment section of Fox, right? Like they didn't buy the news.
No, here's what my understanding of it was. They own all media properties except for the airspace.
Okay.
What the FCC, who is doing a great job, we love them, they had to determine whether or not them buying it was a monopoly. And they determined that Disney...
There goes this free podcast. No.
So how do you think about... anyway,
you gotta ask me what I think.
What do you think about paywalls?
Go ahead.
Fuck. Oh, so they determined that it wasn't a monopoly so long as one company doesn't own more than one of the major broadcasting channels.
Okay.
So my understanding of this is Disney now owns all of Fox's films and all of their all the media, including the news and and that, but they don't own the airspace that it is broadcast.
That it occupies? Okay.
So they own the production and the actual shit, but they don't own the wavelength on which it is
They haven't bought the air yet.
They haven't bought the air yet. And technically they can't because the FCC deems that to be the monopoly part.
Okay.
Not owning all the shit that's on it.
That's on.
Which seems really nitpicky to me.
Yeah.
But so so they own FX, FXX, FXM, Fox News, Fox Sports. Holy shit, they own the X-Files!
Yeah, they own the X-Files.
Oh my god.
They own X-Men. That was the thing that
we were all focused on.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people were focused on, at least, and from my bubble, on Twitter. X-Men being finally...
Deadpool.
Yeah, especially in the video game world where X-Men for Marvel vs. Capcom now, because we can do that. And everyone was like, yeah, but it's still a fucking monopoly, man. Like,
it's a super monopoly.
It's so bad. Like, it's really bad.
It is.
It's like, what are you sacrificing there?
I mean, I won't lie. I was blind. I was blind by my desire to see Deadpool and Spider-Man just go to town on each other in a movie. I wanted nothing more than that. And now I'm looking back in the aftermath of it all. Yeah. Did I really want to see Ryan Reynolds in a film with?
No, I wanted to see licensing shenanigans so that we can get. That way it maintains, but whatever. It's fucked.
Because they're definitely going to recast all the X-Men now.
Yes. And they'll probably go with that new timeline.
Yeah, they're probably going to go with a new timeline. So, conceivably, New Mutants might be the last X-Men project run by Fox?
Well, under Fox, before Disney.
Before Disney, yeah.
Well, I mean, it still hasn't even come out yet, so I wonder what post-production stuff they'll finagle.
They might. I don't know. There's so much speculation to have because this is such a seismic shift. This is fucking huge.
It is.
They own Alien and Predator.
Yeah, man.
God damn it!
Yeah,
oh
man.
my god.
A lot of jokes of Alien and Predator being in Kingdom Hearts.
I mean, you joke now, but that shit,
dude.
like, people joked about seeing Jack Sparrow in Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, it's still weird. That level's weird.
Oh, it's really weird.
It's so muddy and dark. Like, whatever. And, like, well, my joke was always, I want to see Sora in, like, Luke Cage world.
You're gonna... Well, guess what?
Well, that could have happened before Fox, but, like, I wanted Sora to deal with racial issues.
That was the level. Is this time you have to overcome the darkness of racism in America.
like, because in my head, has Sora even ever seen anyone darker than Goofy or like?
Oh shit!
In the Kingdom Hearts thing.
Give me an actual moment to think about that. Let me actually give that thought.
Levinson wears the black.
I can't.
The Heartless are all...
The Heartless?
Would Sora's automatic, like, thing be just to attack Luke Cage?
Is Sora a racist, is what you're saying?
That's what I'm saying.
Well, because also I think about that, like... And, like, Sora is supposed to be, like, Japanese.
Jack Sparrow's, like...
Is tan, I guess. He's a white guy with a tan.
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
Are there any black people in the Pirates of the Caribbean movies?
Yes, but I don't think any of them are main characters.
Oh, what about that magic lady who
that's apparently a god.
Apparently the god.
Did they do anything with that? Because I never watched 4 or 5.
Oh no, neither did I.
So I have no idea if they ever did anything with that.
I feel like they just cut their losses on a lot of storylines.
Yeah.
Because
that was cool.
That was
cool.
Like
the 5 seconds it happens.
It was like, I guess she's magic now.
Yeah.
Okay. I felt very much like after they did Pirates 1 and it was so popular, and then they made 2 and 3.
I think Pirates 1 is still the best one.
Oh, absolutely.
It has one of my favorite, like, as much as people may love, like, super love or hate Jack Sparrow, it has one of my favorite just character introductions. where it's
of
him
a man on a
standing.
sinking ship.
Yeah, but he's standing proudly.
Yeah.
He just smoothly walks into it as that ship sinks under to the dock.
There's a
And
great.
I'm like, I know everything about that character from that one shot.
There's a great metaphor in there somewhere. Do you remember? This has nothing to do with anything. I'm sorry, but
It's okay.
every time I think about Pirates of the Caribbean, I think about Lonely Island. How they? Do you remember that? How they got Bruce Springsteen? I think they got Bruce Springsteen, and they were like, "Oh, Bruce, we love your music. We want to do an album."
Oh yeah, and he sings about.
And he just keeps wanting to sing about
Right,
Jack Sparrow. I was watching USA Channel, and they played all 4 of them. It was amazing.
I do remember that one.
We were actually hoping to do like something about like America and like because you do a lot of stuff about like the disenfranchised and Captain Barbosa. Oh shit.
So Sora may or may not be a racist.
He may or may not be a racist.
Find out.
We'll find out.
We'll find out when he gets to the crossroads of having to deal with
it. Oh shit. You know what? Actually, if they did a instead of just Luke Cage, if they did like a Defenders thing, like Sora's in the wheelhouse of fight ninjas. That's well within his deal.
Oh yeah, there's Ninja Heartless.
Yeah, Ninja Heartless. Then he gets 4 backup guys.
Yeah.
Well, 3 and then that annoying one.
You know that one.
We all know which one. We don't have to say.
It's the one you like.
It's the one you like, Roy.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, while I was thinking about Pirates of the Caribbean, Guillermo del Toro did talk about how he's still in pre-production for a Haunted Mansion movie that he wants.
Oh, is he? Okay.
He's still pushing that boulder.
Forgot. I totally forgot about that.
Well, let me remind you, he's still trying.
I
mean,
I hope Eddie Murphy comes back. I hope it's a sequel.
Oh my God! Wouldn't that be amazing? Would that not be amazing? Yeah. If the sequel to the Haunted Mansion starred Eddie Murphy in the first movie he's done in maybe 10 years? I don't know. And it turns out to be the best Disney movie ever made. Yeah. It's just, oh no, it's a sequel to a movie nobody liked with an actor who hasn't been in a movie in years and years. But it was he answered so many questions I had.
About the ride?
Around the I feel like he really brought it home. I think the trick was setting it in Tokyo. That was the missing ingredient.
That answered everything. Yeah. So, well, what else have you been up to? Any read anything?
Oh shit! Let me see. I've been reading. I've been reading a lot of like indie comics lately. Okay. So I apologize because if you want to read them, they're gonna be hard to find. But I'll try and help you if I can.
So up your own ass.
Sorry. They're like really underground.
There's a fun, so you're not gonna probably know what I'm talking about. Let me tell you, these are the best fucking comics ever. Well, it's okay because I talked about Kill 6 Billion Demons at one point. That used to be a webcomic, but now it's in print.
It's in print now.
So all you motherfuckers better go buy it because that new one comes out January 8th, I think. So can't wait for
volume 2. Tight. Yeah. Who's the publishing house who's doing that?
Image.
Oh, tight.
Because Image did the first one. Yeah.
For sure.
It's not part of their mainline thing. It's a weird cut. I have a physical copy now, so I could show it to you.
I mean, whatever.
Yeah. Just how it works, because I've never had one like it. So.
And like the
way it's
print?
cut. Yeah,
okay.
So.
Oh, okay, cool. I've been rewatching a lot of Star Trek for some reason. I don't know.
So when I brought up like the Borgs, like
I was legitimately like, oh, we're gonna talk about the Borg.
So what, Star Trek original or?
I've been watching OG, and then I just started Deep Space Nine.
Okay. Wait, did you just skip TNG or like?
I've already watched so much TNG.
Okay.
Like, don't get me wrong, TNG's great. I watched it when it was on TV all the time.
And you don't remember the part where Worf gets his spine crushed?
I don't remember that. Tell the people the story. I love that. I love
it. Well, if you listen to the Super Best Friend Cast, they talk about it all the fucking time. That's how I found out about it. But there's this episode where Worf is like, there's something in the warehouse they're all searching for. I fucking forget what.
Right.
And there's this shot of Worf standing there looking, and then it takes. And it's at an upwards angle, so it's like his face is in the foreground, kind of blurred out, and then, well, not in focus. The background's in focus, and then there's a barrel that shakes or whatever he's in. Again, I don't remember why. And then it cuts to a shot of him from the back and him looking around again. Then that barrel just falls on him, and it's so obvious that it's just an empty foam barrel that hits him, and that the actor plays Worf. Forgive me, nerds. I don't like want to Star Trek now. Just like has to throw himself on the ground.
Oh.
Yeah. And it just bounces off. There's no even sound effect or anything.
Oh no!
It's just empty. And then it smash cuts to a shot of him laying in the hospital ward, and they said every single disc in his spine has been pulverized.
I'm sorry, the barrel turned your spine into powder.
And it's so stupid. It's so stupid. I shouldn't laugh at it as much as I do.
Oh my god! No, I don't
Every
remember
single
that.
disc in his spine explodes.
has been pulverized. Was the medical officer on Next Gen? She was like the telepath. Right?
I think
Is that right?
so, yeah.
Yeah. That was her. I don't remember that episode. No,
I think the rest of the episode's pretty boring if I remember it correctly. So like,
I remember the episode where Jean-Luc gets married to a lady in a coma.
I'm gonna let you know right now. I'm not gonna be able to hold a Star Trek
Okay.
conversation. So,
Okay.
unless you tell me something real stupid, and then I can just engage with that. That's for your sake, not for mine.
There's plenty of crazy dumb shit. Well, I mean, like Q. Q is fun, but just it's basically just like every time Gene Roddenberry was like, I put myself in a pickle.
Yeah.
God fixes it. God fixes it.
I do know that one episode of Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, The Trouble with Scribbles, is based on the episode Trouble with Troubles.
Yes.
So,
what a
Star Trek knowledge.
What a good. My favorite episode of Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends is when you find out that Matt can't have sugar.
That one's pretty great.
Because he turns into like a little nude goblin.
Yeah, just screaming everywhere. God, I don't even know what's my favorite. I think that first movie is like really strong for what it is.
Oh yeah, that was really good actually.
Maybe Will finding his, but that was another movie.
That was the closer movie,
Yeah,
I think. It was the opening, the beginning, and end.
So they're like,
I liked how it started. And I liked how it ended.
I always remember the arcade one. For whatever, were they all? No, I'm sorry. I know which one's my favorite. It's a rainy day, and Blue gets like sick, and he just starts fucking hallucinating because apparently when you get sick as an imaginary friend, and he's like really fucking like, he's probably having like fever dreams or whatever, and there's just like little small versions of him like playing instruments and like. And they're like pulling it from his body, so he has like a trumpet for a nose now, and like
that's amazing.
It's weird.
Do you remember there was one I really liked just because I really like Kevin.
Frankie gets in a bus crash. Okay, like
oh my god, Frankie does get in a bus. Yeah. Oh my god, Frankie has to deliver a package to the address of William Street, the real William Street. That's where Adult Swim is made.
Oh shit, I don't remember that. That's awesome.
Yeah. Ivan, who is voiced by Kevin McDonald, who is just like a piece of broccoli with eyes all over the top of him.
Yeah.
And is voiced by the almighty tallest Purple, I think. That guy from Kids in the Hall.
Yeah.
Whose voice is always like, whoa! He's great.
Yeah.
Yes. What a good program that was.
I might rewatch it, like, at some point. Because it's been a while.
It has been a minute. I feel like right now is a good time to just go back into the past and decide, like, you know, we were talking about escapism.
Yeah.
Now feels great for escapism, right?
Well, now it's like the best and worst time for escapism.
Yeah.
One, it's gonna really feel Like cathartic.
Yeah.
2. We fucking really need to do
We
something
really
about
should pay attention
yeah.
to all the things. Maybe that, I'm aware that this podcast is not necessarily
basically
the place.
a drug.
It really is. It's like
it's gonna feel great right now.
It's like how all those 1960s sci-fi writers were talking about a drug called bliss. Just put the patch on and just chill out, man.
Yeah, just chill out. I think my favorite sci-fi drug I've seen so far is called Zen.
Ooh, what's that from?
It's from this short story that I read. Fuck, I wish I remember the name because it's probably one of my favorite short stories I read for like a sci-fi class. But what it does is it puts away your consciousness and your body just kind of goes on autopilot.
Oh my god!
But you're not aware.
That sounds amazing.
And the whole premise of the thing is someone overdoses on it, and a new personality / consciousness has taken over her body.
Oh my god!
Yeah, and everyone wants her to return to her old self, but she's having this thing of like, I'm only. No, it's weird because she acts like her age.
Mm-hmm.
But she's like fully aware. I've only been on this earth for like 2 years, technically.
Oh
so,
shit!
Yeah, but
that
it's
sounds good.
Such a good story. It's fucking really good. I mean, I loved it, but
I tried to
have to re-look up the name.
I'm very sad to say I tried to find the short story you told me about before about the waters of
Meribah.
Meribah.
It's from that Bible.
It's from that Bible.
It's from the story of Moses.
I tried to find it. I looked up his website and I think it's out of print right now.
Oh, really? Online. Okay. I know what short story collection has it.
Oh, cool. Okay.
So I can send that to you. I would have to check my Kindle because I have it on there.
It's written by an English author
yes.
of short stories. He seems really cool and he's got a bunch of short stories.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance because he's put a bunch on his website that you just read for free.
Yeah.
I haven't done the deep dive yet where I'm just gonna read a bunch of his stuff.
Ooh, but he does have some novels that I might check out after I read The Waters of Meribah.
Yeah. Those are really good. Dude.
He sold me on it. Like,
yeah.
I keep turning to the computer like I'm talking to a third person. Like, you guys, believe me.
It's a philosophical sci-fi story that I think that has the exact same pacing as a horror story.
Oh, okay,
I think it works well. So that's like my thing with it. Oh my god. So anything else like what those indie comics you've been reading?
Oh shit. So I've been reading some indie comics from independent artists. I'm trying to think of their names. There's one called Gut Ghost that I got really into.
Okay.
And it's by a local artist in LA. These are all by people from LA.
Okay. Who
all like self-publish and things like that. So
let's get to a part where you sound less and less like we're up around
it's really good.
Yeah,
it's a very strange. So Gut Ghost like haunts people.
Okay.
And also has like a hot demon girlfriend.
Okay.
That shows up periodically. It's not a super linear story. It just kind of things happen.
Sure.
And he keeps like the 4/5 of each comic is just Gut Ghost like doing like a normal dude stuff, not drawing attention to the fact that he's a supernatural entity.
Okay.
And then his terrifying like organs explode out of his gut silhouette and then engulf human beings and subsume them, and then he eats people, and that's the end.
Why? Because that's how he sustains himself, or
yeah, like he periodically.
So ghosts have to eat in this.
This ghost has to eat.
Okay.
Because he's full of guts. He's a gut ghost. So that I don't know. I really like it. I really like it. There's a publishing house of indie comic called Protein Press. You can find them on Instagram, and they sell their shit online.
Okay, I might try them out.
There's one called Pumpkinhead, which is a great kind of Halloween themed one.
Yeah, wait, isn't there a movie called Pumpkinhead?
There is a movie called Pumpkinhead. It has no relation to that film.
Someone watch Pumpkinhead.
Someone. Oh fuck. So I just had a lot of thoughts.
Okay.
There's also one that I bought called The Nightmare, and the cover is kind of inspired by the famous painting The Nightmare of a
the one that I fucking see in every goddamn art class I've ever taken.
Exactly. And that
Don't
one's
get me
just...
wrong, it's fine, but you get sick of it after.
I mean, he also did like 3 copies of his own painting afterward because it was so popular. But yeah, that one's a...
Hey man, when you gotta make money, you gotta make money.
I was unaware that painting was paying the bills so well. Thanks, guys.
Why paint anything else when this gives me like $1 million?
People like the scary horse, so I give the people what they want.
It's that one and the shot and the painting of Kronos eating.
Eating his son.
That's the 2 ones I always see.
I do like that painting, though.
I do too, but it's like, I want to see other one. Whatever.
You should see his Goya's other, they call them the 13 black paintings when he was going crazy with syphilis.
Someone did tell me about that.
Yeah, he painted it. But, like, Saturn eating his son along with the other 12, they're painted on a wall.
Oh,
so, like, you can't move them.
You have to take the fucking wall out.
Yeah, exactly. They're all frescoes. Okay. So, it's that one. It's crones, whores, 2 men. Yeah. Everyone in these paintings are hideous.
Yeah.
A dog.
Because they were painting real life.
They were... Wow. Also syphilis. Yes. But the one that I always think about, and it actually upsets me for some reason so much, is Dog, which is... It's a big brown to black canvas. Where there's like a kind of a shape of a sand dune at the bottom, and then just the eyes and snout of a dog slightly peering over it.
Okay.
And that's it. There's nothing else in it, but something about that really troubles me when I see it.
Look that up and start sending that to you.
It's like... sending me things.
Oh, hang on. We're going to get to that. Because someone asked a question about what's the deal with Sally Bones, so I'm going to talk about it.
Okay. What about you, man? What have you...
Well, I'm going to try to make this a little quick.
Okay.
Let's see. I've read a shit ton of stuff, mostly comics that I've been putting off because of school.
Sure.
Read first 2 volumes of Rumble.
Oh, tight.
I forget. Actually, could you pass me those 2 comics on top of the art book?
Sure. These 2?
Yeah, because I think one of them's the 3rd volume. It's by Dave Stewart, who's done. I know he's done Batwoman stuff. James Herron and Joe Riccardi. I don't know. It's the most the way I put it, and I do hate arbitrary number rates, but it's the most 8 out of 10.
Oh,
comic I've read. It's good.
Okay.
It's just it doesn't blow me away, but like the art's good.
Okay.
I think the main character Argaroth, they have like these really like Conan-esque names.
Sure.
I don't even think it's Argaroth actually. It might be something else. I love his scarecrow design. Like it's so fucking cool. Mm-hmm. And to see it in motion is really awesome. There's just really visceral like shots. Mm-hmm. It's just a fun romp. It's a like liminal fantasy.
Oh, okay.
Of just this ancient warrior trying to get his body back.
Oh, all right, tight. So he's trapped in a scarecrow body?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because someone forgot to release his soul.
Okay.
When he was because this like there used to be, this is what the world used to be.
Right.
Conan-esque like, well, it's all monsters.
Right.
And now monsters are just trying to blend in. Like Asura is just, I don't think it's the actual Asura. I think they just call him Asura because he has 6 arms. Mm-hmm. It's just an old man. Just trying to feed his pet multi-headed snake.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
So, no, it's real fun. It takes place in like, I don't want to say the deep south. It seems a little bit more like urbanized.
Than what, like Georgia or something?
Yeah, maybe. You know what? I think it's actually Georgia.
Oh, is it?
But it's really cool. All the characters are likable. Especially even the main character who's kind of like a shit. He stops being a shit like in the first volume.
Okay.
Because he like realizes very quickly when demons are around. Oh, I should stop being like,
such a dick.
Yeah, because this is obviously bigger than me. So that was really good. I read the first volume of Vision with the family.
Oh,
okay. I forget what the actual. Actually, I think he has another copy. Yeah, look at that. I don't know. It's a run of the Vision where he has a family. And he's made a family to learn what it's like to have the nuclear family in America. You want some existential, like just, it's way heavier than you think. Like for a main run Marvel comic, it's just like, what does it even mean to be a human family?
Jesus.
Kind of stuff. How do you deal with problems at like on a intellectual level? It's very cool. It's really fascinating. I would recommend it to you personally.
Okay.
What else have I read? I read a run of Batwoman done by J.H. Williams III.
Okay.
The guy who did the art for Sandman Overture.
Oh, great! Nice.
Yeah. So, because that was the only reason I read it. Yeah, he's still fucking
alive.
good. Yeah, he's still probably the best panelist I've ever seen. So, that's good. The story itself is it's not bad. I actually think the second story, the one where he didn't do the art in that run, is better than the first one. It has a really cool moment of just Batman story and Batwoman story coming together. And the way it plays out is, like, just from an art perspective, is really fucking cool.
Okay, cool.
I don't know, like, fuck, because I read a lot. I'm just trying to remember it all while also going really fast. What a fucking comics. I read Kill 6 Billion Demons Volume 1 again.
Still good.
Again, it's still good. It's still good. The art's great. Fuck it, I don't know. I already talked about Coco and Star Wars, so. I did start watching my first J-drama.
Oh, really?
Yeah, this is the moment.
What's it called?
It's called Final Fantasy XIV Father of Light. Is the title of the J-drama. It's about a man and his son just bonding over the game Final Fantasy XIV.
Is that seriously what it's about?
That's what it's about. It's funded by the Square Enix, and boy does it show. So it's weird because I've never watched a J-drama before, so I don't know how these things play out.
Right.
So we begin. It does actually begin with a really funny shot of just the main character as a kid just spinning around in circles on the floor, like laying on his back and using his legs to spin around. He's like, I was fucking bored one day. And then he's like, and then my dad all of a sudden say, hey, let's go buy a video game.
Oh, okay.
I was like, what? My dad's cool now? Like, he never does that shit. And they buy Final Fantasy 1. And he starts playing, and the kid's fucking enamored with it because Final Fantasy is the fucking greatest game ever made, according to Square Enix. And
suddenly my worthless life had a purpose.
And the father like plays it at night, like not showing the kid, and then the kid catches him, and then like the dad's like really hunched forward and like looking like he's having a blast, looks to the controller as if he doesn't know what this technology is, but then goes back to the screen. He's like, and then the kid shows up and he goes back to his cool Japanese demeanor. He's like, oh, the game's very good. The kid just goes in. And then he's like, and then we never talked again. Well, no, that's how he says, but like his relationship with his father is very distant. Sure. He's always wanted to be closer. And he's like, oh, what if I make... And he's talking with these... So the weird thing is this show cuts to cutscenes that happen inside FF14 where they use in-game characters to do stuff. And it plays out more kind of like an anime dialogue. It's weird. Because I swear I've heard voice actors in there that sound familiar. And I'm like, yeah, why don't you make your dad... Like, they're all sitting in a powwow. Like, how did you make your dad play the game? And we're like, yeah, that's how I'll get closer to him. Because I forgot to mention his father like quit work for mysterious reasons, although it becomes very apparent, very easy to guess what it is. I won't spoil that part. You'll be able to figure it out in like the second or third episode. So I have to take my breath in for this. So he plays Final Fantasy 14, and there's a moment where he's like, yeah, I'm having fun. Oh, this is cool. This is final. He keeps calling it Final Fantasia.
The dad?
Yeah.
He's just being dad about it.
Yeah. And I think it's because Fantasia would have come out like around this time, so part of me thinks it's that.
Okay.
I don't think they thought about Fantasia. Like,
right.
So he's playing. He's like, oh, this game's pretty fun. And then his friends, like, it cuts back to him in the game, which he plays one of the cat race. I forget. It's been a while since I played FF14. And his friends go, "Hey, your dad's like fighting a tree ant, and it's like just a living tree." And he's like, "Oh, he's about to die." And then the kid goes, "What?" Like super, like as if death is like
very
the
distressed.
end of the. And immediately my reaction was, because I was texting someone about this. It's like, if the father dies in the game, he dies in real life. With this level of reverence and the others. And then it cuts to like very dramatic. This is all licensed Square Enix music, by the way. So the soundtrack is actually really good.
Okay.
Because it's Final Fantasy 14 music. But it cuts into the battle theme. He runs to the tree, and his character like fucking punches the shit out of that tree. And it's like, yeah, he saved his dad from dying.
In the game.
And his dad starts just running around his character because he doesn't know how to chat through online yet.
Okay.
So the son's like, "Oh, I never taught him how to do that." So he goes in, gets him a keyboard. He's like, "This is how you fucking type." All while trying to hide the fact that he's the character helping him. Mm-hmm. And it's just shit like that. Every episode has this. Starts out with, "There was a moment that was very sad in my childhood with my father, where my father was a very stubborn man. He never talked to us." Like, "Oh, my father, I was doing kendo one day, and like." I was like, "I don't want to do this anymore." He's like, "Oh, well, if you're gonna quit." And then I was like, "Okay, I quit." And Dad's like, "Fine." And then he leaves, and that's the thing. and then in that episode, he has to. It relates somehow to that lesson. What's the lesson my dad was trying to teach me? But the way I view it, and I think this is just a Western thing, or maybe. Well, the way I see it is like, oh, the father's just bad at communicating.
Really bad at communicating.
I don't think he was trying to do it deeper. Like
no.
Which that may be the point of it, but there is one of my favorite lines in that show. Is there's this really just, oh man, it's so sexist. It's like, because he works in the office. He's the kid.
The kid works in the office.
Yeah. Okay. And there's just this episode where they're trying to find out why the female employees are not working as hard. Like, it's all female employees. Mm-hmm. And then the exact line from the boss is, we've let these women work and taught them how to, and now they won't do the actual work and are all bummed out. Jesus. And it's so, but it comes so far out of left field because I wasn't expecting that from anybody.
You know whose problem this is? The Jews.
Yeah, after we let them work and
No, that sounds kind of interesting, actually, as a story to have
it's weirdly heartwarming, but
the son be Racer X to his dad.
Yeah, to his dad. It's so it's weirdly entertaining. I gotta finish it.
How long is
so
the series?
Cheesy. It's like 8 episodes for
season. Okay.
Well, yeah, so I'm almost done.
I
think there's 2 more episodes. It's like on Netflix.
Okay.
But there's that line for that, but so far I think he's the only one next to this really drunk guy that no one seemed to like, who sings a Saint Seiya song, and I'll be honest, like, I was not expecting the Saint Seiya theme to be.
Is this show not just? Well, they would never expect.
So I don't know if Saint Seiya is like Square Enix, dude. I have to look that up.
Do we have the rights to that?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. It's karaoke.
He's drunk.
Let's have the drunk man who just in the scene before slapped some random woman in the ass, like sing Saint Seiya song.
I feel like this is what the audience needs.
Yeah, everyone hates that guy. Yeah, it's fucking weird.
I have not watched a J-drama. I've watched a little bit of a K-drama before,
okay.
And I'm interested.
I'm new to this world. Except for Terrace House. But Terrace House is not a J-drama. Terrace House is a deep look into the
human psyche.
The human psyche in the Japanese social circle.
Please say that line that I love more than anything.
Your dream is unclear.
Your dream is unclear.
Dude, it's the best.
God damn it.
Part of me wants to get that as a tattoo.
Fuck. Oh my gosh, your dream is unclear. I like that so much.
It's so good.
I want more than anything a hoodie with his face and then that underneath.
So apparently there's a character
at
the end who's the hero of Terrace House. Yeah, you heard me. And like his whole reason for being on Terrace House is I want to find a love worth dying for.
Oh my god.
Dude, he speaks like this just anime character. Guess what? He practices kendo. And he does like katas with a wooden sword on the roof.
Of course he does.
and they made shirts of just that phrase, "A love worth dying for."
Oh my god!
And he wears one in like one episode apparently.
Oh my god! That's
and they never made one for "Your Dream Is Unclear." Like,
how is that not the line that you go on with Terrace House?
I would buy both of those shirts. Like, or I would want one of, I don't know if you know about this part. Nick may have talked about it because he loves this thing way more than I do. I want a picture of the omelet that one of them gets, and it says "coward" and ketchup on it.
Yes, I do remember that. I do remember that. That was a very... But... yeah.
You should watch Terrace House.
It's still on Netflix.
Yes.
Is it separated from the Hawaiian one?
Yes.
Okay.
It's before the Hawaiian one.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't want to get confused.
Yeah. I heard the Hawaiian one's not as great. Because they're American.
I believe it.
Yeah.
Also, so here's the thing.
Yeah.
People in Terrace House, they don't have to stay there.
No, it's so weird. They're just, like, that's why I can't imagine what benefits this has other than I get to be on TV.
Yeah.
And I also get really kick-ass housing in Tokyo.
Free housing in Tokyo, yeah.
Yeah, so, like I would totally, do that.
People want to watch me eat and whatever and go on the internet.
And call people cowards.
Yeah, with an...
Oh, dude, I think, if I went on, I'd be the most hated character because they're mad at anyone who doesn't do anything. Oh, and I'm like a lazy piece of shit, except for the dead hours of the night when I'm editing and doing stuff, but no one's watching then.
I don't know. Also, when I do things, I don't do things at home.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna do something, I want to go away.
Yeah.
And have a nice night. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, they follow you.
Oh, they do?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know.
So your whole life's on.
Oh, so if they go to the bar or they go to watch such
they're going on a date
Oh my god! Yeah, oh my god! I gotta watch the show. That sounds insane.
I want them to follow me on a date, and I'm just going. So what existential dread do you?
So let's talk about the value of human life. Are they inherently equal? Is it dependent on what you do? Where do you stand there?
If I compare it to myself to a dog, who deserves to live more?
Yeah, good question.
I think I like the dog more.
Oh my god, I will watch that because I'm on a thing now. I've got free time, so Deep Space Nine and Terrace House I think will be my thing. Maybe. I think.
I wish I want more time to watch this shit. I gotta go back to school on the 2nd.
To what?
I gotta go back to school on the 2nd.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Dude, the day that fucking sucks. But
that's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, whatever. It's fine. I have to do it.
Yeah,
well. Senior thesis is gonna be that harder too. So, what? It's fine. So Father of Light, I do remember that. Other than that, celebrated Christmas. That was a cool time. Finally made my little sister who watch my favorite Christmas special, which is The Twilight Zone, The World of the Meek, I think. It's about the drunk guy who plays Santa.
Oh my!
And becomes
such a good.
It's really good. It's I was glad when I rewatched it. It held up. There's little cheesy parts.
Yeah.
And there's a woman. There's this mom actor. She has such a big role, but she was so terrible in delivering her lines. It stood out so hard to me.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a little cheesy, man. But yeah, it does. I like it.
There's
a really good monologue in there. It surprised me.
I'm sure that if you lined up most of the scripts of the Twilight Zone, they're
most of them hold up.
Excellent pieces of
Twilight Zone's a weird, anomaly to me of just how well it holds up to any day and age.
Absolutely.
In terms of just writing.
I was watching. There was actually it's so strange. I was watching an interview with Rod Sterling the year before the Twilight Zone came out.
Okay.
And it's very weird because he's just promoting the idea of the show coming up.
He's trying to fucking sell that thing.
He's trying to sell that shit. And he's just like, Rod Sterling. And
Rush is going to make a song about us one day. Just you wait.
And it's so weird. It's so weird on multiple levels. I'll send you the interview if I find it again.
I'll watch it.
I think it's like Jack Parr.
Okay.
But like the thing is like this is an interview from 1959, 1958. Mm-hmm. So like television was different then.
Yeah.
Where in television was at that time basically just like radio with pictures. Like no one was really utilizing the medium that much.
Yeah.
And it's super understated. There's no sensationalism, but it's actually good information you're getting out of it.
Yeah.
So he's just like, so Rod, you've been working in television for about 13 years now, and you're going to be going on to a new project of your own. That's right. It's called The Twilight Zone. I'm very excited about this project, potentially. It's a flight of fancy. And they talk about, like, writing...
You have his dialogue down.
Oh.
I'll blame you for that.
Thanks, bud. And they just talk about, like, writing strategies in this, and they're like... because apparently Rod Serling was one of the most censored writers of his time,
really?
Which surprised me. And he was like, "Oh, why do you think that is?" And he's like, "Well, we all
scared."
Yeah, they're all afraid.
Yeah.
And it turns out Rod Serling was like, "Oh, well, I used to work." He worked on like a Case of the Week procedural kind of show, and he's like, "I wrote a script that was about that young boy who was kidnapped in Alabama. We don't have to say the specifics of it. I think we get the idea." And the network was like, "Oh, you can't write about that. The people in down south won't like us talking about that." And he's like, "Well, then I rewrote it so it was a girl who is kidnapped in Oregon or something like that." And they were like, "They still can tell what you're talking about, and they don't like that, so don't do that." And then he was like, "Well, then it became ridiculous. I didn't want to talk about an Inuit child who was stolen away by white people." it was ridiculous. And he's just like, "I think that it's a little bit easier now that it's my show, but still we have problems. Like, I was writing a script about... we have an episode of The Twilight Zone in season 1, wherein there's a ship full of English sailors who send someone down to get tea. And we got a complaint because Folgers is sponsoring us, and they said, "Can they drink coffee, though?" And what I like about Rod Serling is, instead of being like, "It doesn't matter," he's like, "They're English, that doesn't make sense." so his compromise was, "I just wrote, let's have a cup downstairs. It could be any liquid that I choose."
He's a man who would find the bare minimum you have to change.
Yeah.
Stuck in a world where you have to change stuff. Right?
But no, he basically talked about, like, and I think a great thing about The Twilight Zone is, like, he talks about pretty touchy stuff for the 50s and 60s.
Oh, yeah, dude.
And he was like, "Oh, people don't care because there's aliens. So as long as we have, like, a ghost or something, I can say whatever I want, basically. And for some reason, no one cares."
Yeah, there's alien ones where it's just an analogy for, like, the idea of Big Brother.
Trying to hunt out the blacklists and things like that.
Witch hunts as, like, the premise.
Their monsters are due on Maple Street. One of the goddamn best episodes ever. Oh my god, so good.
There's that one with the devil box.
That
Captain Kirk is in.
Yeah. A piece of television I never ever want to forget is not Captain Kirk. I'm sorry. The guy who played Captain Kirk, I suddenly forgot.
It's Captain Kirk now.
Captain Kirk. Captain Kirk was on that show Third Rock from the Sun.
Yes. Oh, yeah, no, I know exactly.
You know the thing?
That joke fucking killed me when I rewatched, like, all of Third Rock from the Sun was on Netflix one time.
Holy shit, that joke is,
it's so fucking obscure, dude.
That's such an obscure joke. If you don't know, like, John Lithgow, who's the star of that show, was in the Twilight Zone movie, and he redid Captain Kirk's bit. And they made a joke about that, and it's such a beautifully landed joke.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Well done to them.
Yes. So should we move on to questions now?
Sure, yeah.
So we got some submitted questions. I don't know if you want to pull up yours.
Sure.
I would like to give big ups to Call Me Apple Swat on Twitter. Mm-hmm. She just sent me a plethora of awesome questions to go through. For those who don't remember, Call Me Apple Spot is the one who did we did the story Glyph.
Oh.
Here. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And she has been on the podcast, I think, twice now. Fantastic writer. So you want me to go first, or you want to go?
Oh, please.
Okay. First question that Call Me Apple Spot asked: what is your approach to world building in sci-fi? How is it different from fantasy? And then I'll go into the next questions later.
Okay. Huh.
So I've only ever written one sci-fi story. I'll put that out now. That I consider that I like, that I meaningfully wrote as sci-fi.
Right. I've written a few, and none of them are good. So
mine's okay. I think mine needs to be longer, actually, because I feel like there's too much. Because mine's a story between AI and just this like captain of like a rebellious force. Mm-hmm. I basically wrote a cyberpunk story, but it's all like this. It's just a scene from what I think that overarching story would be. Mm-hmm. How do you go? So, like, what is my approach to world building? I listen to music.
Okay.
Well, and then I literally go, okay, what's the thing I want? Oh, motorcycles. Okay, cool. I want motorcycles. But what kind of motorcycles would they be? Well, I kind of want shitty ones. Okay, do you want shitty motorcycles? And then, like, it goes on. So I start with a very singular thing, I guess I found, and I just kind of keep building up around that, and like, well, how would that work? How would that work? Blah, blah, blah. For instance, with the motorcycle thing, why would they need motorcycles? Well, it's a really quick way to get around and go through narrow streets. Why are they going through narrow streets? Well, because they're running from something. Where are they running from? Yeah. It can't be just the AI. Like, what thing they for? And that's why I came out with, like, a giant robo-dog. Because Wolfenstein 2 had come out, and I went, man, that giant robo-dog's awesome. That design's great. So, but would it just be a shitty motorcycle? And I go, and then I went, no, it would look shitty, but that's because it's scrounged up from junkyard parts. Under the hood, it's like really fucking cool, and just fucking a powerhouse. And they're all really good at driving them, because you got to be. It's life or death, and some of those.
Make a mistake.
Yeah. What kind of missions are you running? Kind of just running and bombing. Okay. Anything that would affect the money aspect of the company that's taken over that thing. So that's kind of my approach. It's just keep explaining it, why. Totally. I think that's mine. As for like initial, I think just for like straight from conception to like realizing or going into just pre-writes. I think it just hits me. Like, the reason I want to write a cyberpunk story is because I've been listening to a lot of synthwave for the past couple of years.
Oh, that's a good time.
And there's stuff in there I'm like, yeah. Like, I think the conception for this story was, it's from the song Souls at Zero by Perturbator. And there's a really kick-ass, I would have to show you. It's a very atmospheric song with a really creepy robotic voice that sings some of the things. And it sounds like a chant or a ritual. And the only way I could describe that voice was it sounds like a machine struggling to breathe.
Oh my god.
And I went with that line as like my whole like personality for going in.
I like that.
Yeah, I know. I felt good about that. And then you gotta ask the what if question for like sci-fi too. Like, what's the what if? And I thought, well, what if an AI wants to reach sapience?
Yeah.
Because everyone confuses sentience with sapience. Well, not everyone, but it's a very common thing. I mean, if it exists and can kind of think, it's sentient.
Yeah.
Your dog is sentient. You're like, right. But to reach sapience being able to
predict complex
rationalize,
patterns.
And kind of find patterns into things.
Yeah.
And the approach for me was, well, how would AI logically do that? And I kind of came up with this idea that in order to, it would want to understand humans, which are the thing that are sapient. So how would it go about doing that? It would want to understand emotions, because humans, yes, we base our actions on rationality, but also irrationality.
Yeah.
and I had to like really think about that. And in the moment, we don't think it's irrational. We look back on it and we go, it's rational. In the moment, when we're very emotional, it's the most rational thing to do. It's the most. If we do it, it's the thing that makes the most sense to us in that moment.
Yeah.
So it has to understand all of that.
Yeah.
And then the way I did it was I want to do it in a really cool way with nanomachines.
Okay.
And what it does is just bioinfuses with humans.
Oh, okay.
And it takes them over when they're experiencing a very specific emotion. So the first one it ever does is curiosity, so it could really run itself.
That's a good developmental.
Yeah. So the first person it ever takes over is like a 6-year-old like little girl, super curious about the world, and then going on building from that. And it's just this huge AI that has taken over human bodies and can talk through them. And it chooses to do that to really understand that emotion. And this story eventually is going to go on the podcast, but I want to refine it more.
Oh, okay.
So I won't spoil too much, but it's like... But there was this thing I remember hearing about, so I looked a little bit more into it. Where when we speak a different language, we tend to think differently.
Yeah.
And there's that idea in Arrival, too, where if you speak a foreign language or learn it and start speaking it, you start thinking in the same manner as anyone whose native tongue is that language. So I went about doing that, and like, that's my whole idea with it. So like, yeah, as for world, how do I approach? It's got to be playing, like, I can't do the thing where I go, oh, I'm just gonna throw a bunch of cool shit in there.
Absolutely not.
You have, my method is to start with one thing. That thing could be really cool.
Yeah.
But you got to build around it and like asking why. And then when you bring other stuff into it,
you have to justify it.
You have to justify it. How does it interact with the other stuff? Yeah. If it doesn't interact, why not? There has to be a good reason. Sorry about that. Technical difficulties. Strange cut.
What I was gonna say, for example, so I was just reading Imperial Earth. Yeah. You can now read the review on my website. And
what's that website?
Yeah. Oh, that website is really ugly thing. It's Adams Ian 1342 at Wix.com, I think.
Okay.
Just go on my Instagram or my Tumblr. It's way easier. Just go there. It's just the Modern Corsair on all the other things. It's way easier. Way easier. Anyway, in that book, it kind of takes a lot of tangents. Yeah. But the thing is that it always feels justified because because he manages to tie it back to character. Yeah. And build as an excuse to build character and expose something about that person. So I think that's a good use of justification. Yeah.
And I would agree with you there. That makes characters feel more alive in the world. Because even us, if there's something in the world, we obviously interact with in some way. So, yeah. I mean, in a sense, everything affects us somehow.
Yeah, exactly. So. Exactly. And, I don't know. So I think that's better than just throwing cool ideas out and seeing how many cool ideas on their own you can do. It's an old writing teacher gave me this piece of information I really liked, which is a story is just details that build toward a conclusion. Yeah. Don't write a story that is just a pile of details that don't do anything together. It's the difference between a wall and a pile of bricks. Yeah.
It goes to that idea, which I think we've talked about, writing backwards versus forward.
Yeah, absolutely.
And know what the end goal is. Not necessarily the ending, but what you want to accomplish. Yeah. And then write backwards from there of how you would achieve that.
Because if you're going in...
Although it would really help if you knew the fucking ending.
It really helps. I mean, if you're going to go in... I wouldn't tell anyone if you're going in without a clear picture, try and work towards something. Yeah. Because if you're just going to kind of meander, you're going to run the risk that the story will feel aimless. And the story will feel like it just wanders hither and yon and doesn't go anywhere. And that's That's gonna be boring and hard to read, honestly.
Yeah. A really bad feeling in reading anything is reading something and going, yeah, I don't think the author knows.
Where's this going?
Oh, speaking of that, I did read Saga 7.
Oh, yeah. How'd you like it?
So I liked it.
Okay.
But this is the most because you've told me this before, that it feels like he doesn't know where he's going.
I feel that way about everything.
Yeah. This is the most like I've ever felt that.
Okay.
Because it was such a standalone story that could have not been there.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
And it does build some character aspects.
Okay.
Like the father relearns the purpose of killing, or like justifications.
Mm-hmm.
At least in the situation he's in.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there's cool stuff in there. That giant baby is really fucking cool.
Sure, totally.
I don't know. I hope it goes somewhere.
I look at his other work, like I look at comics like The Walking Dead, and comics like, is it Irredeemable, or
did he write Walking Dead? I didn't know that.
Oh no,
isn't that Robert Kirkman?
That's Kirkman. Yes.
Does he still? Okay, so I need to know. Does he still write that? Because he's fucking editor-in-chief at Image. So.
He's still writing it. It's just that the issues are coming out even further apart now.
Jeez.
Longer.
That sucks, because I feel like that thing's been going on forever.
That shit's been going on since 2010, I think.
I remember when the first issue started coming out.
That's been on. So it's been going
7
on
years.
almost 8 years.
Almost 8 years.
Fuck. And there's nothing wrong with something going on for a long time. Sandman went on for almost 10 years.
Yeah.
But we got confirmation, like, Gaiman was ready to be like, oh no, I know how it's going to end.
Yeah.
I'm aiming at an ending, etc., etc.
And the ending makes sense in the Sandman thing.
Yeah, totally.
Especially with the themes of it all. So.
But let me pick on
even Overture, which came out way later.
Yeah, it's so good.
I think ties into the entire thing incredibly
thematically
well.
Really well. But for Kirkman, for Saga, for what's that other? It's either called Irredeemable, or it's called. It's about the superhero who finds out his father is an evil superhero.
Yeah. You
know what I mean?
Father's super. No.
I think it's Indestructible or something like that.
Indestructible.
I can't. Anyway, I think it's another.
Okay.
But anyway, both
Cave-on joint.
Cave-on biz. It feels so aimless.
Yeah.
And like it's just and then this happens.
Yeah.
And it's not.
And it's weird because his writing is good. Like every issue I've read from him is really good. I just don't know what the end game is.
I don't know what the end game is, and
I don't feel like he knows where the end game is.
Yeah.
I could be totally proven wrong, and he comes out with the last fucking issue of Saga, and it blows everyone's mind.
Maybe he's just a kind of under wraps guy who doesn't like to talk about his endings.
Yeah.
Maybe that's it. But like, it's not even that I want to know how it ends. I just want to know, do you know how it ends?
Yeah, that's all I want too.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to know. One thing I do want to mention with world building.
Yeah.
Is just you go through that whole process of, I think, in the way I approach it, everyone has their own ways, but the way I think I should do it is just fucking as much as you can beforehand, because I always felt like I first learned it with characters of just developing a huge backstory for this character. That way, when you're actually writing them and you have that in your head, it plays out for better how they would act.
Okay, yeah.
Not for how you want them to act, but how that character would actually go about with. And I feel like the same thing for world building. Huge thing, and then you just give a small window of what's actually going on.
Yes.
Would probably help, at least you would hope, make this world feel alive or bigger than you're actually seeing it for me. It's not
a sci-fi or fantasy reference, but if you think, I think about the Coen Brothers films.
Okay.
Which are so rich and complicated.
Yeah.
And filled to the brim with story that when you watch them, you get a sense of things happening in the periphery.
Yeah.
To all of these characters have rich, complicated lives. Mm-hmm. But we're not talking
But
about
that's not
them.
their story.
Exactly.
This is the story we're talking about here.
But the world building that they do is immensely fantastic.
Yeah.
If you think about like Donnie and his love of freestyle surf.
Yeah.
Or if you think about a movie like Hail Caesar, like
I haven't watched that one yet.
Man, if you like, there's a scene wherein you see a room full of writers. And it's the Coens getting to talk about movie writers from their favorite age. And it's fantastic to watch because all of these men are clearly just deeply troubled human beings. I mean, that's the story with almost any Coen character, I guess. Yeah. But the kind of richness that goes on within Hail Caesar, because it's such an ensemble, especially, I think they kind of get to show off a little bit more with that, at least.
Yeah.
God, we should watch that movie.
We should. I want to watch. I need to go on like a Coen Brothers like. I want to rewatch No Country for Old Men. So I fucking love. Man, that was so fucking good. They're like, anyway.
It's so good, and then his dad. Oh,
it's based on a book written by Cormac McCarthy, and he's great.
And Cormac McCarthy was like super. Oh, did you hear that they have started pre-production for Blood Meridian?
No, I didn't even know they're making one. Who's doing it?
I don't remember.
Okay.
I think they said that there were names attached, but it's just...
I still haven't watched the Road movie. I've read the book.
I've read the book. I haven't seen the movie either.
Then the book's really good.
The book's really good.
It's really fucking good.
It's really good.
There's no quotes in there. It's all gray. It just keeps moving.
Oh my god, man! I remember reading Blood Meridian. Did you read Blood Meridian?
No, I haven't read Blood Meridian.
It's really good. It's like, if you liked the Western elements in No Country for Old Men, like they just kind of ratchet that up even more.
Okay.
I'd love to watch it.
Yeah.
But what's amazing about that movie is, it is a Western movie that I think most people who like Westerns will hate. Okay. Because it does nothing that
the Western does.
That a Western's supposed to do.
Yeah.
It's just a movie.
No big shootout. There's no.
It's filled with violence, but it's like aimless violence that has no goal or. But see that. Okay, I know that sounds like I'm undermining a thing we just said, but the theme of the novel. But the
point of that book
is that violence is pointless.
Yeah.
It gets nothing done, and it just begets sadness and misery.
Yeah, and I don't think that. Yeah, well, I don't think that juxtaposes your point earlier, because our point is the ending. Like, the ending, it has to feel like the author knows the ending.
Yes,
and I feel like in that sense, Cormac McCarthy does know what that ending of that story would be.
Yeah, totally.
Because he knows what point he's trying to get across.
Absolutely, and every single moment is just like another like. Oh God!
Yeah.
How does? Oh God! Oh.
And that's a good saying to put in for a Western, because like Western movies, there's always a reason to the violence, and that has to show how horrible someone is, or has to give the hero or anti-hero a reason to keep moving or to fight these people.
It's actually a book I know you would really like.
Okay.
If you read, because there are no heroes.
It's good. Just awesome.
It's nothing but people who are irredeemably horrible in every turn. It's like, it's very weird because like
I love books about people who are irredeemable.
There are
not for any specific reason on my part.
There are Indians, there are Mexicans, there are freed slaves, and there are white men. Okay. And it doesn't matter. They're all just fucking dirtbags. They're all horrible people who do the most evil things.
Is this like his Heart of Darkness, where just everyone...
Just everyone's horrible. There is no redeeming these people. Yeah. And I guess if there was a point beyond like a commentary on what violence is actually, in reality, is like, well, Westerns portray violence as being
justified, and
black hat, white hat. Here's order trying to stop. No, it's all chaos. Yeah. It's all chaos. It doesn't mean anything. Here's a nihilistic void to stare into. It's great. You really like it.
Okay, I'll check it out. No, I like his writing style. So.
Yeah.
God, The Road's so fucking good. I might reread that.
Did he have quotes in The
Oprah
Road?
talked about The Road. What?
She did. It's on the book list.
I think my copy of The Road has a sticker that says Oprah.
Does it? I read that, then I read A Million Little Pieces.
Yeah.
Then I read... There's nothing quite as funny to me as Oprah being mad. I know this is off topic, I'm sorry, but when I think about A Million Little Pieces, and when she had that man come back on the show, how mad Oprah was, like, you lied.
You don't want to mess with her fury, man.
More important, you lied to America. But more importantly, you lied to me. You lied to Oprah.
Never lie to Oprah.
Don't lie to Oprah. She's gonna find out.
Yeah, man. And she has the power to like.
Oh, absolutely. She can bring she owns America.
Yeah.
She's. Oh my God! It was so funny. Anyway.
So one last thing I want to say about a little bit that I was gonna get to. My point is, I'm more of the person who wants the window into something I don't want. I don't want to, and I think this comes from my frustration with Tolkien fantasy.
Okay. Or
a very generic style fantasy. I don't want to be sat down, be like, okay, here's the exact lineage in the world. There are sometimes where there has to be I do believe there has to be a moment sometimes where someone just explains what happened, but I don't want the entire lore dump, or I don't want a history given to it. More of the times I want a window. That's a lot harder to... I know that's a lot harder to accomplish, or at least a lot more annoying, because you sometimes feel frustrated that you don't know.
And as a writer, I'm sure, at least early on...
You want to fucking tell
You want to just be like, look at all the cool shit I did! You guys!
Guys, look at my toys that I'm playing with.
Exactly, but as you get older, you have to realize that the restraint is really what will reward you more.
Yeah,
and
because you want that payoff to be like, just awesome.
You don't want to hand out all your good cards.
Yeah,
and so much of writing is opening strong, but being able to have enough material that you can keep playing. Yeah, exactly.
No, yeah, I always try to keep in mind. I have this like visual in my head. It's almost like a graph, right? And actually I related to very much the show or the anime Gurren Lagann in the terms of how they handle climaxes.
Okay.
Where it starts off big, if we're picturing a line graph, the line goes up for a little bit and then kind of steadies out. And then it could dip a little bit to just like the heroes are falling on that. But you want this sort of like, you don't want a steady rise. You want a kind of like a slow rise. And as you're reaching the climax, it just keeps going up and up, like, almost like a reverse bell. And fucking keeps going, and you keep adding and adding and adding to like play off that emotion for climax. So it always helped me with writing climaxes. So now I just try to do a visual graph in my head. Also.
Of the shape of a story. Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Okay. So that was a very long-winded way to say it. All right.
I've got a question.
Go for it.
So our question is from an Instagram follower called Pie Loverable.
Okay.
Pie Loverable would like to know, what are 3 of the greatest underrated films you can name?
3 of the greatest underrated films. I was gonna say Clerks, but I think Clerks is perfectly rated.
It's perfectly rated. It doesn't need any more.
So because I'm thinking of underrated not as it's not popular enough.
Okay.
But what are people saying about it? Like.
Okay.
So. Like I wish I was even more of a film buff than I am now, so I could pull up some obscure thing out of my ass. I'm trying to think. I genuinely enjoy Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Yeah, that's a good movie.
It's
a funny movie. Yeah.
I think it is funny. I don't think it's stoner trash that like most people come, although there is an audience there.
There is an audience.
I think that movie is better than most people get, at least for how comedy beats play off.
Yeah.
And how much you do with characters that should be just stoner stereotypes.
Yeah.
But you're able to play with all this fun shit with the time travel. That's one.
There's a good one. Do you want me to do one?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. Great. I'm glad that I just looked at this question for the first time so I could give it up off the old dome. Shit. Fuck. Oh, you know what? I've got a comedy that I think is really underrated. Is Clue.
Clue is perfect. Clue is awesome.
Clue is great, but not a lot of people talk about it. It's not a. I don't think it's.
But when people do, what do they say? So that's rating. It's not popularity.
I'd say that's the thing. I feel like very few people do talk about it. That's my thing. Is I feel like it should be a movie more people talk about.
Okay.
Because it is a perfectly well done comedy film.
Yeah, it's incredibly well paced.
Black comedy.
Yeah. Even the version with the 3 different endings, I think, does well with how they play out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Man.
And
which ending do you like more?
I like the true ending. I like the Mr. Body ending.
Although I really like Miss Scarlet's ending.
Miss Scarlet's is really funny.
Yeah.
Miss Scarlet, when she threatens Colonel Mustard at the end, is very funny to me.
Yeah.
I like the idea of when it was in theaters in 1970 something, I think, that people actually got randomized endings.
Okay.
I think that's really a neat idea, but I understand why that damaged some of its reputation. Because everyone.
I love the idea.
I love that idea. I think that's really funny. Yeah.
But we're the guys that loves David Lynch fucking with us.
That's true. I really
and I understand why that's frustrating to people.
No. He doesn't know what year it is. You don't get it.
And I also get that I'm hypocritical about that because I know for a fact the Eva movies are made to frustrate the audience as much as possible.
Yes.
And I don't think he does it. But my problem is with him, I don't think he does it to actually have a point. I think he does it because he's mad.
He's annoyed that he kept getting threatening letters.
Yeah.
Well, fuck you guys. You know what? Fuck it.
Yeah.
Then he explodes.
Because it's actually a thing of where I'd rather have nothing with the movies. Yeah. I would rather have the series.
I think it's a really funny movie. I'm just trying to think of
dude.
an example of a joke from that movie that
I haven't seen it in a while.
There's a joke.
I should rewatch it.
It is a very my style of humor kind of film because there's
not everyone's gonna understand.
Not everyone's gonna be super into it.
They're not you, and they're not perfect.
But there's a scene. There's a scene where Mrs. Peacock turns to the maid and says, "Where's the little girl's room? Can you tell me where the little girl's room is?" She points, and the maid says, "Oui, oui, madame." And she says, "Oh no, I'm just going to powder my nose." And that's such a dumb joke, and I really like that.
So I'm sad to say for this question, I don't think I can do the 3 most underrated films.
Okay.
I'll just be able to give films I think are underrated.
Great underrated films.
Let me. God, because I keep going to Kevin Smith movies because I think that a lot of the time they get more shit than what they deserve.
Sure.
So I'm gonna try to avoid a Kevin Smith romp.
Just a
trilogy. Let me pull out a weird animated movie.
Oh, go ahead.
That I can think of. Scooby-Doo and
The Witch's Ghost?
Yeah.
That is a really good movie. You know what? That is an underrated film. I agree. Yeah. Another Tim Curry deal. Tim Curry deal.
But it's also got the Hex Girls and
the introduction of the Hex Girls.
And little boy Chris going through things.
Sure, having a moment.
Yeah.
There's one of each.
Which one was your favorite?
Oh, the redhead. Always.
She's great.
Yeah, she's great.
Oh, but and the songs were real catchy. I put them up here for the Halloween.
Oh, oh my God, yes.
I put both too. I said fuck it. I'm gonna.
You did We're the Hex Girls. What was?
Earth, Wind, Fire,
and Air.
Yeah.
We're the Hex Girls. We don't care.
Yeah. I didn't do the third one from the Mystery Incorporated.
Did they have a song in Mystery?
Yeah, Daphne sings it to show her frustration with Fred.
Oh my God.
Just not getting it. Yeah.
That sounds fantastic.
Oh, yeah, the whole point of her character arc in that episode was like the ex-girl's going, hey, you gotta express this somehow.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That show was great, and not enough people watched it. And like,
We talk about that show a fucking lot on this, but Mr. Incorporated was fucking good.
it was so good.
It was really good.
Lewis Black was in it.
Lewis Black was in it. He was a bird. he was a bird.
There's a Cthulhu episode.
Oh my god, there is a Cthulhu episode.
Huh.
They get like a Foxy Brown friend who works at a radio station.
Yeah.
She was fun.
She's like that character from the Warriors and like...
Yes. There's also... oh my god. They make fun of Twilight so much.
Yeah.
So much.
So weird.
Oh, it's such a good time, man. Also, the guy who played original Shaggy, Casey Kasem, when he was still alive with him, when he's still with us, he played Shaggy's dad in that one, and nothing could make me happier.
Also honorable mention, since we're talking about Scooby-Doo movies. This won't take up my third slot because I'll try to think of another one.
Okay.
It's the very first Scooby-Doo movie with the Cat Island.
Oh, Zombie Island.
Yeah, Zombie Island.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Like a really good one. I think it was also the first time I watched one where they went, yeah, this is for sure supernatural. There's no...
Oh, no, it's magic.
There's no ifs, ands, or buts. Like,
I think that was 96 when that one came out.
It's incredible. Like, it's strangely well animated. Like, for...
It's really pretty, actually. And I think that was one of the first original movies produced by Cartoon Network.
Oh, okay.
Because Cartoon Network...
That's weird, because that movie's, like, really... It paces out weirder than, like... generic TV movie.
Yeah, it paces like an actual film.
Yeah,
like a film.
Yeah, like a movie.
like a movie, guys.
Wow.
Oh my god, yeah. And then there was like all that weird. There was like a weird love triangle between Fred, Daphne, and the hot gardener who was an undercover FBI. Oh my god, I'm remembering that movie, and it's actually very good.
Yeah, it's really.
Huh. How do you like that?
Scooby-Doo movies doing good shit.
Scooby-Doo.
Well, early Scooby-Doo movies.
Early Scooby-Doo, like that late 90s, early aughts.
Yeah.
I think everything up to...
If you were a 90s kid, you would...
You were a 90s kid. You'd know that. Everything up to, I'd say, the Area 51 movie. That was still a good time. When Shaggy...
I had the Area 51 book version.
Oh, really?
Of that, yeah. I wonder what happened to it.
It was taken back to the mothership.
Yeah, maybe.
Alright, my second underrated film... shit. I'm just gonna try and bang out some really quick. I can't think of... Okay, underrated films. Here we go. You ready?
Yeah, go.
Alright. Underrated films? Oh, fuck. No, that's really popular.
What about just do a guilty pleasure one?
Okay, guilty pleasure?
Yeah.
Alright, guilty pleasure. I really like the remake of Children of the Corn. The remake of the remake of A Village of the Damned.
I haven't seen it.
It's dumb and it's hokey, and Mark Hamill gets blown up in it.
Okay.
And I really like it. It's so fucking dumb because it's almost a shot-for-shot remake of the 1961, which is unnecessary. I mean, it was. I think it was actually made by the same guy who did the shot-for-shot remake of Psycho with Vince Vaughn. So that one was fun. Another guilty pleasure.
So I have like the guiltiest pleasure of movies.
What is it?
Van Helsing.
Okay, that was pretty bad.
Yeah, that movie's bad.
That was a bad time, guy.
But I will be, and I know it's bad.
Didn't they make another one?
They did. No, did they?
Did they make more than one?
And I just don't know about it. Like,
you were saving yourself.
Yeah, maybe. I'm talking about specifically the one with Hugh Jackman too.
Where there's sexy like vampire ladies that are naked and fly around.
There's werewolves.
There's werewolves.
And I know it's bad.
And Dracula's castle like doesn't have a floor. It's just like. It's just a big
but I thought
tunnel.
that part was cool because, like, he doesn't need a floor.
Where's he gonna sit?
Well, he just stands on, like, upside down.
I guess.
Wait, no, there is throne rooms, too, because, like, he has that one at the top.
Stuff made out of bones. Yeah, that's right.
And it's so stupid. Like, and I have this weird guilt, because I watched it a lot as a kid. That with, like, the AVP movie, which is also... bad.
Oh,
but at least you get cool kills like in there.
You know what? I'm gonna confess to a movie I haven't watched since I was a boy.
Yeah.
But I loved as a boy, and I can't go back because I know for a fact I'm going to be ashamed of
What is
myself.
it?
Was The Master of Disguise.
Oh,
It's a movie
yeah.
I really, really liked when I was a kid.
Dana Carvey's like...
Dana Carvey. Yeah, Dana Carvey does this weird Italian accent, and then it's really just an excuse for him to put on costumes
and to do caricatures.
To do characters with the thinnest of plot lines.
Yeah.
It
was a Nickelodeon movie.
Oh my god, it was a Nickelodeon movie! It was a Nickelodeon movie. They kept advertising the fact that he dresses up as a turtle, even though that's like 5 minutes or less of that movie. He bites a man's nose off, and it's never brought up again. But it was also that's also from the Poison Factory, Happy Madison Productions, that makes all those movies America loves, such as Jack and Jill.
Yes.
Mixed. Is it Mixed? I don't know. Some other movie.
Is Mixed as like...
Because it was like
bad as I think it sounds, or...
Oh, it's like he takes Drew Barrymore to Africa so that she loves him again, I think.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Grown Ups. Grown Ups 2. Grown Ups 3 hit the streets. It was a...
Grown Ups, that movie that took away from Pacific Rim's opening box office.
Oh my god! Which, by the way, I know you haven't seen it yet, but I find this very funny. Someone I know said, why isn't Pacific Rim the one about fish sex?
Yeah.
But
oh, no, I saw that too.
Okay.
It was really good.
Yeah.
That was really good.
It was a fun time. So, yeah, that's... I'm ashamed of that. I'm deeply ashamed of that as a child.
Okay. But yeah, I think because Van Helsing as a kid, I was super into, like...
spooky stuff?
All that horror... Yeah, but I wasn't into too spooky stuff. I needed safe PG-13.
Okay, for sure.
At the age of 10. Well, even though I had watched, like, Friday the 13th and Final Destination by that point. Like,
you watched Final Destination?
Final Destination, I think, is still the earliest memory I have of just raw watching an entire horror film, like, all the way through. Final Destination 1. And my grandma had put it out. My grandma has, like, a weird thing for... Or you would never know it, like, knowing her.
You're right.
Like, she has, like, a weird thing for cheesy horror movies.
Really?
Like, but early aughts, cheesy. Like, it's weird. It's a very specific...
It's a super specific subgroup.
It's one where Final Destination falls into.
Final Destination, and that would have been, like, A New Nightmare by Wes Craven would have been out around then.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
So I watched that. And Friday the 13th by that point.
I know I talk too much about it. It's not even a guilty pleasure. I'm not even ashamed. I love the second Nightmare on Elm Street. I really like it.
Okay.
It's dumb and terrible, and I fucking love it so much. All right, why don't we
move on to the next question?
New question.
All right, so staying from Call Me Apple Spot. What's an example of a good blend of the two of sci-fi and literature, sci-fi and fantasy?
Okay.
Both literally and from our own experiences with pop culture. Good. Okay, so I actually, because the reason I bring up this specific question, because I was thinking about this, I hate the term science fantasy.
Do people say that?
Yes, people call stuff science. At that point, if it's ever fantasy, it's fantasy. Like
right.
Like okay, so people bring this up with Star Wars.
Okay, it's a fantasy story in a sci-fi
setting.
Case, yeah.
Well, because in my head, I don't even think the sci-fi setting, quote unquote, has to be called that. I think it should just be called fantasy.
Yeah, it's a fantasy in space.
It's a story, and people are going to come at us for... People always come at... No, it's science fiction. And I go, there's fucking magic in
There's wizards.
Yeah. And whenever I've been in English class and that's brought up, we all... Like, everyone's ever agreed, no, it's fantasy.
It's fantasy.
Those are space wizards.
Space wizards.
They have magic sticks.
Yep.
And they do magic. By the way, there's a thing with magic in The Last Jedi that we do have to talk about.
Okay.
That I think has a lot of implications that are never touched upon.
I'm very excited. I'm very excited to get there.
Okay.
They have fire swords.
Yeah.
There's it's and also there's all that shit with princesses and knights and.
So what's like a good blend of both elements? And I do think Star Wars is a good blend.
Excellent.
But I think it has to be called fantasy at that point if there's magic.
So it's somewhere between the two?
Yeah. There was this book I read for sci-fi class. It's called like it's like considered bioscience or Oh my god, why am I forgetting the name now? It's part of a series. Fuck me, dude.
Think about it. I've got an answer.
Go.
Adventure Time.
Okay.
That's it.
Still haven't watched Adventure Time.
It's basically that.
Okay.
It's let me give you the backstory.
I'll explain why I haven't watched Adventure Time in a moment. But go.
It's most of season 1 and season 2 set up.
Okay.
That you think you're in a D&D style fantasy world.
Yeah.
And then they have one weird episode where an iceberg melts off the coast, and there's just like mutant businessmen who come out of it. And so as the plot develops, you find out that actually this is happening 1,000 years after a nuclear holocaust has wiped out society.
Okay.
Also implicitly...
I don't care about spoilers for Adventure Time because I'm never going to watch it. So.
Also, there's like aliens, I guess, that are a plot point. Like, it kind of threw everything at the wall on that show. So... there are aliens and, like, eldritch gods. Mm-hmm. Very Lovecraftian kind of elements of sci-fi horror. And then also just D&D kind of inspired fantasy. So I'd say, I guess. But that show kind of... I don't know that it's necessarily a blend. It manages to keep its tone consistent, but the kind of stories that happen... it's a crapshoot. It could be anything from...
and that's what sci-fi and fantasy stuff lends itself. That's like the big advantage of those two genres is that you can just talk about anything.
Yeah, that's true.
If you set it up right.
Yeah.
The reason I've never watched Adventure Time is because one, that's a huge investment now.
It is.
And
it's 9 seasons.
I guess that's my fault for not being on the ground floor. Or what.
Sorry.
Two, I've heard this from multiple people that if you're looking for the line through in Adventure Time, you get maybe 1 episode or 2 episodes max per season.
Yeah, okay.
And that's not to deter from the idea that, there's cool stories that happen individually.
Yeah.
In between. But for me, at this point, it's like, it's such a huge investment, and I'm only going to get small payoffs in that sense.
I would also say that, like, for your second point... don't even bother with season 1 if you're really interested.
People told me that too. Like, but I can't do that.
But that's the thing is, it's not that season 1's bad. Season 1's super funny and fun. It just doesn't do lore building until the end of season 2, around there.
And it's so weird because with Steven Universe, you get that like immediately, and
totally
every like it's to the point where it feels weird that there's an episode that's on its
just
own.
Towny stuff.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people who I don't get it, but people who don't like the episodes that are just about boardwalk people. Mm-hmm. They're just like, I need more stuff in space exploding.
Yeah. But there has to be a reason that I care that stuff doesn't happen to this town.
And I kind of
like there's that episode where the whole town evacuates.
Yeah.
And I'm like seriously worried, like, oh god, they all have to leave? Like this is a really big fucking problem now.
Big deal, guys. I would like more episodes of Petey. I think Petey's one of my favorite townie. Petey's the little guy who works at the fry shop. Who's Steven's age.
Wait, do you mean sour cream or
No, not sour cream. So at the fry store, there's the dad
or the bits,
There's with the bits. There's the dad who's a big bulky guy.
I love that whole family. Like
then there's the nerdy guy who's into conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
Then his little brother Petey.
Okay. I know who Petey is.
Tank top, and he's like, I just don't understand, guys.
Yeah.
He's one of my favorite characters. I don't know why.
City weird, man.
Yeah, man. He's a great character.
I love sour cream so much.
The DJ?
No, not the DJ. Sorry. Onion. Because Onion is the gag character that I would make, and just fucking weirdo. And every one thing you get from him is like incredibly off-putting.
That's troubling.
Yeah,
it's troubling every.
It's like my guilty pleasure. There's substance there. I'm never gonna give it to you. You're gonna get only these weird shits. God, it's the scene where he has a tape of his own birth.
That was the thing I was gonna say.
And me and my brother remember watching that and going, what the fuck?
Why is this happening?
What the fuck? And he shows it to his friends.
Oh, that's so dark, man. That's so dark.
Like, I love it.
His mom's super cool.
His mom's awesome.
His mom's super cool, and that she's friends with Amethyst.
And they obviously had a relationship.
They had a super chill time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe that's Trying to think, good blend. I mean, Saga's world, I think, is a good blend of both, of fantasy and quote unquote sci-fi. It just happens to take place in space. They fly in a fucking tree, for crying out loud. And like,
SU is fantasy though. It has the dressing of sci-fi, but I'd say Steven Universe is just a fantasy, right?
Yeah, no, Steven Universe is pure fantasy.
Okay, good. We're all good.
That's a good
blending of both.
Do kaiju movies count? Because then can I just say? Because the first one I would argue is science fiction because there's explanations for why
it's mutagenic.
Yeah,
biz.
And then just aliens appear.
Yeah.
Nowhere, and they don't explain why aliens work out.
Oh shit!
So Godzilla movies.
The movie, another kaiju movie. They got the rights to Frankenstein, and they made Frankenstein versus the World.
Okay, yeah. No, I know which one you're talking about.
You know the one I mean?
I've seen the poster.
So it's
I never watched it, but I know the poster.
It's like 2/3 sci-fi, and then at the end, there's a dragon that shows up. And there's no explanation given. It's just like, oh, well, this is Japan.
Yeah.
Of course. Of course that happened.
But, like, the thing with the whole sci-fi fantasy, because it's so hard to make a blend, because in my head, it just becomes fantasy.
Yeah, fantasy elements are pretty quick. They get... Excuse me. They can overpower the other elements pretty quickly.
Yeah, incredibly quickly.
Yeah.
You only need, like, one... Well, in sci-fi, apparently the agreed upon rule and is that you get one like unexplainable thing.
Yes.
Or at least one thing you don't explain.
Yeah.
Before it becomes fantasy.
Yes.
So in that sense, yeah, but good. I mean, those are good blends in my opinion.
Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, because I'm thinking about Nova.
Yeah.
Which is one of my sci-fi novel of the year pick.
Okay.
But. Like they have oracles that can literally see into the future, and it's just like no, there's like an energy field and they tap into it. Whatever. don't worry about it. That's the answer. Yeah. Right. There you go.
So you got another question, or should I go on?
You pick a second one.
Okay.
Then I'll look at one.
How was our day today? So we're recording this pretty early.
Yeah.
I made myself a nice cup of coffee.
Lovely.
With a new coffee set, Black House. From Modern Times. It's very roasty, a little bit of blueberry, a little bit of chocolate in there. I finished it all. I'm just holding the cup like for effect.
For all of you to enjoy that.
It plays well for audio. How was your day?
Good. I woke up and I had a nice morning walk. I grabbed a donut before I had to come do this.
Where do you grab do you buy from
Dippy Donuts?
At Dippy Donuts, yeah.
Yeah.
Their donuts are great.
They're great.
It's such a pain in the ass to walk to though.
Because
it's right there.
Yeah.
But like the nearest crosswalk, like.
So you'd have
it's a dangerous fucking street to
very much to jaywalk in, which is why you shouldn't do that.
It's like is it a 6-lane street? No, it's 4 lanes, right?
It's
like in
3
total.
and 5. It's 3 and 2, so it's 5 lanes.
Yeah.
It's a 5-lane street. It's very busy. There is a place where you could cross, but then you'd be jaywalking, and it's very dangerous, guys. You shouldn't do that.
And that street's like notorious for just
accidents,
shitty driving. Yeah.
Yeah. Fucking. So I was talking to a friend at the McDonald's that's at the corner there. This is gonna play great.
Yeah.
There's a McDonald's right on the corner that intersects with this street.
Yeah.
And we had a nice time, and I said, "Oh well, talk to you later." And he pulls away in his truck to get into the main road, and then he waits. And I was like, "What is he doing? He's in the middle of the street. That's weird." And then he floors it to go through that, cross the lanes of traffic.
God, that pisses me off every time.
That is... Don't do that. Don't cross lanes of traffic that way.
And there's a divider in the middle, too.
There's a divider in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, don't do that, please. Don't do that. But no, my day's good. I had some fried dough. So I'm feeling energized.
Yeah. My day was fine. I wake up at like 6 every morning now. So, but that's because of work.
Yeah. No,
so like, no, it sucks. I can't do late night. I can't do my late night gaming session. Sucks because I finally like indulged and got like games that I really want to play.
What'd you get for Christmas?
I I got Xenoblade Chronicles 2.
Tight.
Anime Trash.
Is that what it's
that
called?
No, that's what I call it.
Okay.
But I strangely enjoy it. Like, the gameplay is really fun.
Okay.
And me and you know, Goncha, we were actually hanging out yesterday.
Oh, tight.
Me and him were talking about this. Xenoblade Chronicles is the first one, just so overwhelms you with shit.
Yeah.
And just how all the mechanics work. You're kind of just thrown in there and you go, because there's so much shit on screen. And it is, like, fairly complicated if you don't know what's going on. Mm-hmm. And then he's like, and then I stopped and I went, I stopped too for that game. He went, okay, I'm going to play X, which was the next one. It was like mechs and shit in the future. Yeah. And he's like, nope, this is just as bad. I have no idea how to play this. I'm sure it's a great game. I just don't know. And I was like, where's the class that I have to take in order to have fun with this video game? Like, what do I have to want? Xenoblade Chronicles 2 does, I think, a better job easing you into all the layers. Mm-hmm. But still, you hit a moment where they keep introducing stuff, and then you think about it and you go, oh, fuck, this game is, like, way, way bigger than I originally thought it was going to be. So it's that. Yeah, how else was I mean, it's fine. It's going good so far. I'm enjoying this.
Yeah, same here.
Well, you got another one?
I do have another one.
Again, that was from Call Me Apple Spawn.
All right,
fantastic writer.
I've got one from Taint Witherspoon.
Yes.
Who asks, you guys did. It's asking about how we did the Fulikuli.
Did they watch? Wow, thanks for watching that.
And they wanted to know.
I haven't met anyone who's watched.
What's
Oh well, you know what? They might not have even watched it, but the fact that
they're aware of it,
because I'm proud of that.
What is another show or film that you'd be interested in doing commentary over?
Well, we thought about doing. I don't know if we talked about it on this podcast, but we've definitely talked about at a party where we do Tyler Perry movies.
Oh my God! Yes.
Because we both watched this video by Nick Spears on Tyler Perry movies, which everyone should go watch that video. That video is fucking
insightful.
Great, yeah,
deep.
It made me care about Tyler Perry movies. It made me want to watch.
Yeah. You did something I thought impossible before, so hats off, man.
Yeah, and I think that was the point of his video, was to, like, hey, you should check out these movies.
You think you know?
And I found it, and I saw recently, because I was at Target yesterday, they did at least you can buy on DVD, one of the plays he does. Because he does plays.
He does do plays.
And I heard they're crazier.
Oh my God.
So we could do that. What else? I mean, Nick really wants to do Bible Black.
Yeah, he's gonna keep asking.
So that's my answer for Nick.
My only problem with that is I feel like Nick is gonna keep asking until I just get worn down and say, "Fuck it, yeah sure."
You chose a losing battle. I don't know. Any other ones you?
Any ones I would want to do?
Because Fully Cooley, the reason we chose that was like. It was so important to all of us.
Instrumental it was, yeah. What a big deal. I'd really love to do, like, maybe Diary of a Mad Black Woman, his first movie.
I would like to own too.
That'd be fun. The only other thing I could think of is I'd want to do, like, a super auteur filmmaker. Unlike, also Tyler Perry. Like either Tarantino or like a Wes Anderson or a Paul Thomas Anderson or something like that. Oh, Inherent Vice would be fun to talk over just because it would be really hard to follow.
Yeah. I mean, I've thought about doing it for Kevin Smith movies because I'm such a huge Kevin Smith fan. That did have a huge impact because I watched it at the exact right time. Yeah. Which was in high school. Yeah. Which is when you should watch it.
I'd say, Kevin Smith movies.
But it's hard because I think any comedy movie is hard. To talk over, because you're like, no, we have to let this joke land, right? And then let's talk about, and then you're just talking about how jokes work, and that's no fun.
And
that ruins the whole thing.
Yeah. And then you just end up. I mean, we wouldn't have to do commentary if you want to hear us talk about like the filmmaking technique of that movie. We could just talk about it, and not do it overlaid. Yeah.
But unless we do like a riff tracks thing. But like, I don't want to steal that.
Yeah, they just came back, man, on Netflix. They're getting a second wind, you know.
It's tough. There's a lot of things. One has to be short enough that we're all willing to sit down and watch it.
Yes.
Like, you can't do an entire series. The reason Fully Cooley works out so well is because it was 6 episodes.
And then you're done.
Yeah. And it's 2.5 hours. Well, less than 2.5.
Yeah.
You just watch back to back. It has to, like... Again, comedies are really hard.
Yeah.
Even though we all love them. Because it's just... A lot of it's going to be joke per minute.
Yeah.
It's going to be really hard to do. It has to really grab us. Like, oh, we're all willing to sit down.
Absolutely.
Yes. And for whatever reason, Tyler Perry movies...
Tyler Perry movies sounds like actually I want to do that. I kind of want to do it.
So I guess the answer to that question is
Tyler
Perry movies.
So get ready. We're going to do 9 of them all in a row.
And I would also want to do something that I would hope not too many people have done.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to... As much as I love Kubrick, I don't want to do...
People have already...
People have done that.
If you haven't seen the documentary Room...
I watched that, like, not too long ago.
Dude, what did you think about it?
It's really fun.
Mm-hmm.
And they're so crazy. Like, I think a lot of them are grasping at straws.
Oh, they're crazy.
Yeah, the only one I'm like, I can kind of see is the whole idea of the plight of the Native Americans.
Oh, totally.
That one I can see.
That one I can see. I think the first 20, 25 minutes of the movie is like, oh, okay.
But I think that's on purpose to, like...
To lull you into a false
before you get into the full crazy.
No. Like, it's all about semiotics. It's all about things lining up. My son. And then, you remember that weird, like, this woman just tells this rambling story, and she said he cracked his head open and lightning came out. It's just like Kubrick, you guys. It all lines up. Or
the one where it's the Minotaur.
Oh my
god. That one I was like, that's so...
What the fuck are you talking...
The only thing you have is that poster, which is a ski poster.
It looks nothing like a Minotaur.
Even when they zoom in, I'm like, I guess.
It's a Minotaur. Don't you get it? Don't you?
And like the maze, I guess. But
I guess. But then
then do you say if there's a maze in something, it's always
about the Minotaur? And then what? Oh shit! There's so much good stuff in that material.
Maybe we should do a commentary.
A commentary on that movie. Oh my god!
And a commentary that's a whole movie of just commentary.
Okay, this is a great line because this is fucking banana.
Oh
my! I almost hit that. I'm sorry. There's a part where one guy is talking about his theory, which is already in Crazy Town, hot Crazy Town, and then you just hear screaming. And he's like, oh, hold on. I have to take care of my son. He left that in the movie.
I know.
Yeah, that's a really good movie. I really like that movie, actually.
Really good doc.
Oh, my God.
Really good docu-walkie.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess Tyler Perry movie.
Tyler Perry movie, yeah.
That's weird because we were talking about, like, we should do another one.
We should do another one.
Because I had a great time doing the Fully Cooley one and even editing it.
It was really fun. I liked getting to those hot takes.
Yeah.
I don't know, do you think we should... Because I've never seen... except for parts of Boo Medea Halloween, I've never seen a Tyler Perry movie.
I've only seen Tyler Perry... I've only seen Medea Goes to Jail.
Okay. Do you want to go in fresh on that? Do you want to, like, never have seen it? Or do you want to watch it a few times?
I want to go in fresh.
Okay. Same.
Because you can only have that once.
You can only have it once.
Yeah. Fully Cooley, to me, is, like... Because we had all watched that, like...
So many times.
Incredibly. I can't... Like, at this point in my life, it's countless.
Yeah.
Now, because I don't know how
an insane number of times. Yeah. To suck every piece of symbolism out of it.
Alright, so let me see. I got one. Thank you, Taint Witherspoon.
Thank you, Taint Witherspoon.
I love that name. What are our thoughts on spring rolls? You ever eaten that?
I love spring rolls.
That's from Colby Apples.
They're delicious. Spring rolls are the ones with rice paper, right?
No. No, I think it could just be an egg roll too.
Oh, okay.
But I think it's more vegetable based.
Oh, they're good.
Yeah, to answer. I think they're good too.
I go to if you want to know, I go to a Vietnamese place here in town, where Downey meets Paramount on Downey Avenue.
Man, I was trying to avoid saying like the city name.
Sorry, you can bleep it. Bleep it out.
We'll find out.
There's a really good Vietnamese joint right down there by Pronto's Pizza. It's really good.
What's it called? Like,
I don't remember what it's called. It's the Vietnamese.
This episode's full of good. Yes. Oh, that thing was really good. I don't forget.
I don't know what it's called.
So I'll do another one. Call Me Alpha SWAT also asks, how will we survive? How will we survive the apocalypse?
What kind of apocalypse are we talking about?
I don't know. The apocalypse.
The apocalypse.
The one that's gonna happen, obviously, under the way the world's going right now.
I mean, Jesus Christ, we're swerving hard into chaos.
Like environmental apocalypse.
Like
I don't know.
just...
I'm gonna hide in a cave, crouch down real hard, and kiss my ass goodbye. Like, because every time. So the problem with apocalypse questions, and I think Crack did a whole thing on this, is that you always think of yourself as the hero. Mm-hmm. No, I'm gonna be just some random guy. If I survive Mad Max, which and Mad Max is an apocalypse where like 2/3 or like 3/4 of the entire planet's gone.
Yeah.
And the population is gone. If I have the luck to survive to be in that apocalypse, I'm gonna be the guy that's a hood ornament.
Oh, totally. You're a blood bag.
Yeah, I'm a blood bag. So, how will we survive?
I think
carefully.
So let's say, let's say it's like a Mad Max, a la fossil fuels have destroyed the planet.
Okay.
Ecosystems garbage. Shit, I don't have practical helpful skills.
Yeah.
I
know. Well, luckily I do know how to.
You know car stuff.
Some cars. Yeah. I know how to fix old cars.
You know how to fix cars.
Yeah. At least enough to run.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be great.
But you'll get by.
I'll get it working. That's because of off-roading experience.
My only hope is that some kind of...
I know how to finagle shit. Good enough.
My only hope is that like some kind of basic society forms.
Someone's gonna want poetry.
They need that they need some kind of like mage. Mm-hmm. They need like an old man and a beard just to be like, oh, what do the stars say? Yes, I have to go consult my books.
Yeah, because then you got your storytelling abilities, you got your improv abilities.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just bullshitting a bunch of poor, hungry people.
To survive. Yeah, that's how we will survive.
Yeah.
We'll just bullshit.
Bullshit. That's how I plan to survive. It's working so far.
There's that's another comic I've read recently is Monsters Volume 2.
Oh.
And they have in that world the whole reverence of poets. Like the poets say this, and a poet understands the world much better than we could ever put into words. Mm-hmm. So hopefully the apocalypse is like that.
Fingers crossed.
Just bullshit. All right, up.
I'm just hoping that we that specifically. Well, here's one thing about I love Mad Max. Mm-hmm. They're great, especially the last one. It's really good.
Fury Road is still probably the best.
Probably.
And you're talking to a guy whose favorite movie for a while was The Road Warrior. So.
The Road Warrior is really. I don't. The only thing is, I don't think that once the apocalypse happens, we're all just gonna get into gimp masks.
Yeah.
I don't think we're waiting for like all the fuels to burn out, and it's just like sexual domination. Finally.
It's not like the kids, the Purge kid. You were good.
That's the thing I keep saying to everyone. I think that just all these...
The default for humans is we all just want to murder the shit out of each other.
We all want to murder people, or we all want nipple rings. I don't think that's all of us.
I don't think that's the default.
I think that's Hollywood elites trying to put words in our mouths. I don't know. I think it's going to be more like Escape from New York, Escape from LA. It's just going to be like dirty and shitty.
Yeah.
But basically now, just like worse.
Yeah. At the very best, I'm going to be that guy who started a religion or a cult behind it.
Good call.
Just because I could word things.
You should just find out one of the bunkers where they keep the nukes and then convince them all it's a god.
Yeah, and that's the best case scenario. And I'll probably be overthrown and killed by somebody. So,
if it was a zombie apocalypse, let's just slightly indulge in that.
Dead.
You think?
I think I'm gone. Like, my best bet. We got to go north. You gotta go north. You gotta get fucking cold.
No, I was gonna go the opposite. I'm gonna say as close to the equator as possible.
Okay, the other way around. Make it heat. Make it hot.
And then they rot faster.
Yeah, that's also true. You can do that. Then there's jungle and shit.
Bam.
I don't know. I'm more in tune with like dry desert cold
Sure.
than jungle heat or like.
But then I also like wonder, in my understanding of medicine, which is amazing.
Yeah.
I like, is zombieism communicable to other animals? Because most diseases don't actually transfer from one animal to another.
No.
So
I'm basing all my shit on like World War Z because I think World War Z is the most author.
Sure.
It's not. I don't think it's the movie's fine. Does it? But I don't think it does the book just.
Book's just about perfect.
Yeah, the book's amazing.
Yeah.
If you haven't read it, it's like All Quiet on the Western Front, but with zombies.
Oh, it's so
and
good.
it's, in my opinion, just as good. But yeah, no, it's not because it's a disease. Unless you were talking about Night of the Living Dead zombieism, where it's literally there's no room in hell.
Yeah, no, I'm thinking more like it's just super sick. It's a super sickness.
Yeah.
People are dying, and their bodies are decaying.
Yeah.
So, like...
So the heat, yeah, I think it would work.
Yeah,
it smells bad.
Just go down to south parts of Mexico and wait them out.
Yeah. Islands would never work.
Islands...
Because it only takes one.
Failures.
It only takes one.
Takes one.
And then the entire island's, like, gone.
And you don't know if it's airborne communicable or is it liquid-based?
Mm-hmm.
Bodily fluid-based.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, islands are the worst.
Islands are dumb. If you live in Hawaii during a zombie apocalypse, fucking move.
Get to that volcano. It would be too hot for, like...
See, this is the problem solving we need.
This is why I am valuable in the apocalypse. Everyone has to protect me.
And the reason I saved it for last is because there's really nothing to say. The robot uprising that comes after...
No chance.
We all die.
No chance.
There's no hope for us.
There's no chance. If we don't nip it in the bud now...
Yeah, that's right. You stop it now. Look.
It's over.
After the singularity happens.
Yeah.
Well, what are we doing?
There's no point. Some people even argue the singularity has already happened.
Oh, has it happened? Oh, god damn it.
Yeah.
God damn it. You had one job. You remember, I don't think I've ever told it on the podcast, but there's a story about Stephen Hawking would tell about the singularity. Mm-hmm. And it's like him explaining, like, well, we believe that singularity is... we build a computer, let's say, that contains not just the internet, but all the internets.
Okay.
And it contains all the information that we have. And then we teach that computer how to learn more based on what it has. And it learns, and soon enough we can ask it any question. And we want to ask the one hardest question, is why we would build that computer. And someone's like, Stephen, what's that question? And he says, we ask the computer, is there a God? Mm-hmm. And the computer says, there is now. And then it can never be shut off.
It turned itself on. It turned itself on.
Stephen Hawking's really fucking morbid.
Okay, so you got one?
Hold on. I gotta find it.
Call me Apple Spot keeps going with I'm gonna milk these Twitter characters until they stop me. There's two more that I think we should probably get to for this. Do you have any others? Because one of them is straight up what's the deal with Sally Bones, but I feel like that might be the best for last.
Okay, why don't you close us out? Because I think I'm all tapped out over here.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you for everyone for the questions.
Oh yeah, thank all of you for submitting.
This was really fun. This for our end of the year thing. So before we get to Sally Bones, what's the funnest fact you know?
Oh shit!
So I have a couple.
That's a good one.
Yeah. I got one.
Go ahead.
That blew my mind.
Go ahead.
And Nick is the one who told me about this. You know barcodes? So what barcodes read, and I may sound like an idiot for thinking this is amazing, they don't read the black lines. They read the white lines.
Whoa, really?
Yeah, the black lines are there to separate the white lines that's reading.
I didn't know that, actually.
Blew my fucking...
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Huh.
That is fun, isn't it?
It is a fun fact. That fact.
What defines a fun fact? Like, should we...
I had fun just there.
Just learning about it. Well, you got one, or...
Shit. It was a fun fact was the question.
Yes, a fun fact.
Okay, fun fact. Albert Einstein had his brain stolen out of his dead body.
Wait, what? Really? That's
yeah, that did
super
happen.
Cool.
I
mean, not cool for it.
Right, not for,
but it's in a jar somewhere. So.
It's cut up into pieces in a jar somewhere.
It's cut up.
Some mortician, when he found out he was embalming the genius Einstein, was like, no, he found out he wasn't going to embalm him. Einstein actually wanted himself to be cremated.
Okay.
Because in Einstein's own words, he was like, I'm aware that I've made he's super humble.
Yeah.
I'm aware that I've done some amazing shit. And he was uncomfortable with the idea that people would worship him in some way.
Okay.
So he was like, I just want to be burned and done. And he was like, fuck you, Einstein. We need to study that genius brain. And so he cut open the head on him, stole his brain in a lunchbox, and took it home. And got fired for it, and still wouldn't give the brain back.
That's amazing.
But the problem was that guy who was in charge of that, weirdly, he was a behavioral psychologist, not a biological psychologist. So he cut it up and, like, well, I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
I'm really an expert at...
Hey, does anyone want to analyze this brain?
Anyone interested in this stolen brain? Look, they kept Lenin's brain. I'm keeping this one. Yeah, so there's a fun fact. Yeah, that's
fine. I had fun learning that. I know. I mean, I do. It's one of those questions you're asked, and like it just.
And then it immediately makes
because you use
everything...
fun facts so you don't seem boring.
Yeah.
Like to people.
Absolutely. You have to justify yourself. Yeah. Gosh. Yeah, that's fun.
Arnold Schwarzenegger's commentaries on all his movies make him sound like a little kid that is watching the movie for the first time.
It absolutely does, and I love it, and you should
amazing.
really... I have a really big sword here, and it's what's gonna happen? He does say that a few times in like if you watch Conan, like he's a bad guy.
Fun is like
fun fact.
Fun facts.
Give me 2 seconds to percolate.
2
on that.
seconds to percolate. On that. Yes.
Oh, okay, here's one.
Mm-hmm.
We talking about zombies. George A. Romero got his start in media by working for Mr. Rogers.
Really? That's cool. That's amazing.
And
I had fun learning that.
One of the first people who saw Night of the Living Dead cut was Mr. Fred Rogers.
Oh, that's...
Who apparently his feedback on it was, it seems like a lot of fun. Which is that he's so supportive no matter what. That's great.
Let me think. Okay, there's a timeline out there for once the Hyrule Historia.
Yes.
Came out for The Legend of Zelda and it gave us a timeline that still doesn't quite make sense.
Yeah.
The best timeline is the one that links all the spin-offs. And I would implore anyone to look it up because where that timeline splits is whether or not Link won the Soul Calibur 2 tournament as a character.
Holy shit.
And then it goes into the era of the dragons where it's like where Tinkle's Ruby Explorer exists. And like, oh, it's so good.
Oh my god.
That's where the Philips CDI timeline.
Oh, Jesus fuck.
Yeah, man.
I genuinely am interested. What is your favorite timeline in the Zelda?
I don't know, because I think the timeline is not that well done.
But bullshit.
Because they obviously didn't make those games thinking there was going to be a timeline. That was just
they just got badgered into it.
Yeah, they just got forced into it.
I'd say I only ask because I'd say that most of my favorite games exist in the child timeline.
Okay.
Because I love Majora's Mask and I love
that one's really good.
Fucking I think Twilight Princess is also in that one, and yeah, I like all those games.
So I won't choose by games because I think I would agree with you on that.
Okay.
But by mere idea, when it was thought about Ganon wins.
Yeah.
Because no one had ever thought about that because Link would never lose.
Right.
And that if all floods and becomes Wind Waker, I was like, that's neat.
That's a
cool.
neat idea.
That's
yeah.
cool. Another. Do I have any more? fun. I'm sure I have fun video game facts.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So we've talked about Persona. Do you know about Shin Megami Tensei?
I know about the series. I'm
okay,
aware
so
of
it's
it.
series, right? Okay, so Persona, Persona and the Shin Megami Tensei series all take place in the same multiverse.
Okay.
And it gets really fucking confusing. I can show you the chart one day.
Okay.
You want to see some fucking lines like crossing. In Persona, I don't know if you knew this. God is dead.
Okay.
because they kill it and they kill him in Persona 1.
Oh, okay.
And we're talking Judeo-Christian God.
Sure.
That's why
Yahweh.
they can't say. Well, that's why they can't say Yahweh in the series. I don't know if you remember Persona 5. The final boss, his name is Yaldabaoth, which is agnostic. Just another word for Yahweh.
Are you serious?
That's yeah. I know this because the last story I wrote, I was looking at a bunch of agnostic stuff. But they can't say Yahweh.
That is...
Because Yahweh died already.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So, also, there's this butterfly in all the Persona series that shows up. The blue one, its name is Philemon.
Okay.
And that's the thing that gives Persona's powers. And anytime you see... Or is Philemon the yellow one? Well, anytime you see a shadow and they have yellow eyes, that's like the evil that Philemon's trying to fight.
Oh, okay.
That's that. Sorry. Except... All of this except for Persona 5, where it's super confirmed that's not Philemon as a blue butterfly.
Okay.
And I don't know who that is. But yeah, God is dead in the Persona series.
Okay.
Because they killed him in Persona 1.
Okay.
Also, Hitler shows up. And
I do remember that. Persona 2, I think.
no, I think it's 1.
Oh, is it 1?
Yeah, I think it's 1.
Okay.
1 was weird. Okay, so... Yeah, that's pretty fun. I think that was fun facts.
Fun facts. Very
All
fun.
right, so what's the dealio with Sally Bones?
Jesus, it's just so upsetting. It's
Because it started with this podcast.
Yeah, so we were on the podcast, we were talking about Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yes.
And that weird sexualization of these cartoon characters.
Yes.
And I think you showed me Sally Bones first.
Yeah, because it just popped up into my head. Where I originally got that, there's a video where Plague of Gripes, well, that's his username, YouTube. He's so great. Is doing a redesign draw of Jury from Street Fighter. And the two of the best friends are on there, Wooly and Pat. And they're all talking about it. And I forgot how Sonic came up. But he's like, oh yeah, it's dear old Sally Bones. And apparently he had showed that to Pat. And he's like, oh god. And then Wooly's like, what is that? And like, oh, well, let me just pull it up right now. And then Pat and Wooly have their own offshoot conversations. And then the image of Sally Bones just appears on the screen. And then Wooly like freaks out, like starts screaming.
What
is that?
It's a bad time. It's a real bad time.
And if you haven't looked it up, what Sally Bones is it's a man who has made a skeleton structure with like this bag in the middle, and has dressed it up in this suit that looks like Sally Acorn from the Sonic the Hedgehog series.
Yeah, Sonic's girlfriend from the original cartoon.
As his own sex doll.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah.
But it's human remains.
No. He has said it is not human remains.
What did he say? Jesus.
No, all we know is...
Oh, that's all he'll say! They're not human! They're not human!
And it makes me really think it's human.
Oh, no!
Or you bought one of those medical skeletons, but that's made out of human bones sometimes, so like...
How... Or it makes me think it's not
monkey bones.
Yes, yes, they're not human remains. They're monkey bones.
and so the deal with Sally Bones is that after I showed them that, every so often, just text in, and I'll say grenade incoming, and it's a different photo
of her posed in a different part of this house. This grim. Oh, it's so...
One of my favorite lines is I did that to someone, and then my friend, she goes, I can't stare at it that long. And I go, why? Because I feel like it's one of those photos where I stare at it and
it's looking back?
Yeah, and something is going to pop out at me. Yeah. Like, come out through my phone.
The first night he sent me those pictures, I have my My bed in my room is situated across from a window, and I heard a sound like tapping on glass, and I just thought, well, I'm gonna get murdered now. This is what's gonna happen.
I looked at a weird creepypasta image, and now
it's coming for me.
Now it's coming for me. So that's the deal. I've also shown Frozen Stratos, who's been on this podcast. Man, yeah. So, he's so mad at me.
Poor guy.
He's so mad at me.
Poor guy.
Even he did a thing where he was like wishing me a Merry Christmas. I was like,
oh you're the devil!
Well, he did. We were doing this weird dialogue thing where we were just back and forth, and I just threw that out there.
Oh, have Merry Christmas. Here's a sexual nightmare.
Merry holidays.
Ugh.
And he's like, you're the fucking worst. Go die alone.
Oh, sorry, I couldn't get you a present. Here's some sexual nightmares.
It's such a disturbing. But Nick has been doing something similar, but it's like, he's just been sending you weird.
Yeah. Well, because we talked about it last time. Mm-hmm. Nick was super into the original Sonic comics.
Yeah.
And he just pulls out all these weird bits of lore that are apparently now canon. They're official.
That shot of a real hedgehog.
Oh my god!
And Sonic not knowing
what is that? There's one that troubled me the most, which is apparently Knuckles' backstory is
it's all an allegory for the
Holocaust. It's such a weird thing, man. Yeah. And Knuckles being haunted by the ghosts of his rabbi grandpa. Yeah. It's very strange. It's also time travel and fucking your kids. It's a strange time.
Yeah. So that's the deal with Sally Bones.
It's the worst thing that ever happened. I regret it every day. Every day.
Oh,
nothing but sadness.
Okay. So I think that wraps us up. Let's do it. Yeah. Sure.
All right.
I mean, yeah.
Do you want to talk about the Star Wars movie?
Yes, we'll do that in a bit. Let me just sign off for this.
Okay, for sure.
And then we'll do a little individual one.
All right, no problem.
Thank you guys for listening.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah. 2017 was a rough year around the world, I think, for everyone.
It's not been great for most of us, but...
Yeah, but I will say, for those who listen, for those who submitted questions, thank you for listening. That actually makes my year. The fact that anyone listens to this.
Absolutely.
Keeps chugging on. And having questions. Yeah, so I know it was a rough one for a lot of people. But it was cool doing this. So.
And if even just listening to people bullshit for a while helps you push on through a few hours, well, damn it, ain't they a good time.
So yeah, looking forward to 2018, hopefully.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. Everyone go party on, dudes.
Write yourself.
I just want to make a I just want to make a Bill and Ted reference.
I like
be excellent to each other.
Love yourselves and each other.
Oh god, what's the fucking line Nick told me yesterday that I thought was so fucking good? Oh, hope never dies, but we die hoping. I'm gonna end with that one.
That's a closer.
That is a fucking closer.
You ready? Let's go! Yeah! For those of you that wanna know what we're all about, it's like this, y'all. Come on! This is 10% luck, 20% skill, 15% concentrated power of will, 5% pleasure, 50% time, 100% reason to remember the day. Party people in the house, let's go! This is what they see. I ain't so fast out there, you watch me flex. Behind my back, you always let me jam. All in your face, what's up? everybody else alone. In spite of the fact that some people still think that they know him, but fuck him, he knows the code. It's not about the salary, it's all about reality and making some noise, making a story, making sure his click stays up. That means